Hey guys, FrancoisT here. I'm very excited to be here this evening for my very first live press conference, as we are calling it. Yeah, so if you are in the room, say hi, and of course I'll definitely give you guys a shout out. But I know that a lot of you have been requesting having a chat where you can ask me questions, and that made me really excited. So I'm really, yeah, I don't know really what to say other than the fact that I was, yeah, really excited when I heard it, and so I definitely wanted to jump at the chance of doing it. So if you're in the room, as I said, say hi. I'll definitely give you a shout out, and yeah, start firing away with whatever questions you have. Yeah, obviously, I don't want to go into any sort of too graphic detail. So yeah, I'd prefer it if we make sure the questions aren't too graphic. But aside from that, I'm certainly an open book. So yeah, shoot from the hip, and let's see where we go with this. Welcome to the very first FrancoisT press conference. Okay, so let's see what we have going on here. And the first question comes from President A, and the question is, or he's President A says, "Hi, first question, since I'm straight and my man crush is Drew Van Acker, I was wondering who your female crush is." Ah, well, very interesting question. It's tough to sort of name one, I gotta be completely honest. But if I had to like stick to two, I would say Holly Marie Combs, because she is very beautiful, and Serena Williams. And the reason that I say Serena is just because of the person that she is. I find that very attractive. She's very confident within herself, and she's a champion at everything she does. So I would have to say Holly Marie Combs and Serena Williams, and if I were to add in a third, I would of course say Daniela Hanchikova as well. So I hope that satisfies your question there, President A. Thank you so much for asking it. Yeah, so everyone else, don't be shy. Certainly send your questions in, and I will definitely start answering them for all of you. Make sure that you show your press pass to the security guards, and then start firing away. So yeah, might have a drink while I wait for the questions to start pouring in. Okay. MC says, "Hi everyone, I'm not sure if I'll be able to be here today, but I wanted to wish everyone a happy chat. If I can't make it back, I will definitely catch up later. Kisses." No problems at all, MC. Thank you so much for being here. No, that is absolutely fine. I figure it might take a while for people to make their way in. It's quite normal at press conferences for people to be late, so that's totally fine. But if you are here and you do have a question, certainly feel free to put it up, and we'll get to it. Angels is here, and Angel says, "Hi Francois and folks, great to be here. Super tired as I was up till 4 AM on a political panel discussion on YouTube." I think that is awesome, Angels. Thank you so much for being here, considering all things considered. I think that's wonderful. I've been getting a lot of information from people regarding LGBTIQ stuff and what they've done and things like that, and anything that's working in the way of equality. So I think that's absolutely wonderful, Angels, that you were on a political panel discussion. I think that's absolutely wonderful. Good on you. If there are any others that are taking place in the near future, feel free to give me the link once the video uploads, because I would certainly love to check them out and possibly even be a part of them. MC says, "Don't forget to hydrate regularly." I promise, sis MC, I won't. I promise. Angel says, "Hey MC," and MC says, "Hi Angels," which is lovely. Yeah. So yeah, just wait for the questions to come in. What else can we talk about while we're waiting? I guess we can talk about. Oh, okay. Well, we've got another question that's coming from President A. And President A asks, "If you could be in any TV show or movie, which would it be and why?" That's a very good question. If you're talking about like movies that or TV shows that are already out there, then I would definitely have to say Charmed. I would love to be in Charmed. As far as something that hasn't existed, with the book series that I wrote, the Fighting for No Reward series, I always wanted that to either be picked up as a TV show or film, and if that was the case, to play the role of the lead. So that's something that I would love to potentially do in the future. But for existing shows, I would definitely have to go with Charmed. To be involved in something supernaturally based would be really awesome. Thank you for your question. Angel says, what is your view of your government in Australia? My view of my government in Australia is that it's really not good at all. To be completely honest, I've been saying for many, many years now that our government here in Australia is a complete overhaul. For a very long time, there have been two major parties that are in control here in Australia, and the citizens of Australia don't really seem to be going with any other party and making them a majority, and so we keep sort of running into the same problems all the time. So I definitely feel like we need to have a complete overhaul of the parties here in Australia. I don't like the two major parties that are in power. If I had to side with one of them, I'd probably side with Labor, but I'm really not an active supporter of either of those parties. Angels goes on to ask, which party is in power? Well, at the moment, I believe it's Liberal. I could be wrong on that, but I think it's Liberal. So, yeah, I guess you could loosely say, which I don't want to say too much in case I get this wrong, but you could say that Liberal's sort of like the Conservative Party over in the States, and Labor's more like Liberal's like the Republican Party, I guess you could say, and Labor's the other one, which I can't think of what it's called. But I think there's like a Liberal Party or something, if I remember this correctly, in the US, and it's odd because our Liberal is not a liberating party at all. So it's so funny that they have that name. MC asks, just a quick question before I go. How did you get into tennis? And which do you think is better, hard court, clay, or grass? I love tennis too. That's awesome, MC. I was heavily into basketball for many, many years growing up as a child. I mean, this was way back in primary school. I loved it. I was obsessed. And I even played on my primary school area's basketball team, so not for the school but for the area. Then one summer holiday, we went away somewhere and it was very hot where we were, and the air conditioning was terrible. I got up and I saw my mother and my grandmother watching tennis on TV. I'd never watched tennis before. I sat down and I was in awe very quickly of it, and I said to my mum, "What's this?" And she goes, "Oh, this is tennis." I'm like, "Oh, who's that? What's going on?" And so it was Martina Hingis playing, I believe, Conchita Martinez in the final of the Australian Open. And so I suddenly had this obsession with Martina Hingis, started following the WTA tour, and of course it's evolved over the years, and my love grew from there. And then when I went on to high school, I started joining tennis teams and really got into things that way. Then when I went away from, even when I went away from playing, I was still very much obsessed with watching the women's tour. And then, of course, I got into tennis as a job, being a tennis court supervisor. What do I think is better, hard court, clay, or grass? My preference would have to be grass, although I had never touched a grass court until earlier this year in January. I never touched it, but I've always preferred grass. I played on synthetic grass and loved it, but if I had to go in order, I would say grass, hard court, and then clay last. But it's funny because I've had my most success on clay, even though it's my least favorite surface. Tori is here. Tori says, "Hey guys." Hey Tori, thank you so much for being here. Paley is here. Paley says, "Hi." Hi Paley. Paley says, "Sorry I haven't been on the recent live streams. Can't wait for the Fosters live chats to begin. By the way, the Fosters premiere is on July the 11th. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm definitely looking forward to watching the Fosters. It's definitely coming up very, very soon. So I'm very excited for that. MC says, "Hi, Tori." Tori says, "Hey, MC." And Sarah's here and she says, "Hi. Hi, Sarah. How are you?" So yeah, loving these questions so far, you guys. Feel free to send any more that you may have. As I said, as long as it's nothing too graphic, I'm very much an open book. If there's anything at all that you would like to know or ask me, certainly feel free to do so. I really don't want to restrict it too much by taking too much off the table, but as I said, I don't want it to be anything too graphic. But otherwise, go ahead and ask. So Paley asks, how many languages do you speak? Competently, I speak one. So fully, completely, I speak one, which is English. But I can speak part Dutch, I can speak part Spanish, and I can speak part ASL, which is a language in and of itself. I also know a little bit of French. I have a great interest in language. The only thing I can say in Chinese is "shenzai ji dian le," which is "what time is it?" I love language because it's like a secret code that you're learning. So I do have a great fascination with language. Sarah says, I just got back from hanging out with some family. It is freaking cold. It is freezing over here as well, Sarah. Absolutely freezing cold. But yeah, so I know how you feel. Speaking of which, no one's asked what my favorite season is, but I will go into that because it's an interesting story. For a very long time, I loved summer. And part of the reason why I loved summer was because tennis was on in Australia, and so it was a very exciting time for me. Of course, we have our biggest school holidays during summer, so a lot of great things would happen then. But because I have a sort of fair complexion, I don't know if it comes across here, but I have a kind of fair complexion. Anytime I'm out in the sun, I burn severely. I can go out in the sun for half an hour and look like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So eventually I started getting over summer, and I kept saying to everyone this year, oh, I can't wait till winter comes around. Winter's going to be so amazing. It's going to be cold, and I'm going to be able to wear jackets because I have a few jackets that I own that I love, and so I couldn't wait to wear them and celebrate being in winter. And wouldn't you know it, a week into winter and I was already complaining about how cold it was. So I guess I'm just never satisfied. Paley says, where have you traveled? That's a good question. I have not traveled outside of Australia. So, bye-bye, sad story, but it's true. I do have a lot of aspirations to travel to many places outside of Australia. But within Australia, I have traveled to Sydney 3 times. I've also been to Adelaide once. But as far as my state, Victoria, I've travelled pretty much all around Victoria. And I've lived in completely different areas in Victoria, from very regional areas to very much in the city areas. So yeah, I've been all around this state. But I definitely have a lot of plans to travel eventually. Sarah says, first of all, how old are you? Just curious. No problems at all. I am 31. And I had to think about that for a while because I thought I was 32, but I'm not. So let's shave a year off there. I was born in 1986, and I have had my birthday, so I'm 31. Second, have you experienced any mental health problems? Yes, I've experienced depression before. I personally would consider that to be a mental health problem. Anyone that's experienced depression would probably say the same. So yes, I have experienced that, but nothing aside from that as far as mental health is concerned. I had suffered from anxiety though in the past, if that's something you want to consider. And of course I have a very over-analytic brain, but I have learnt to try and deal with that over the years. And so it makes the show that we don't really mention anymore one that was probably a bad one for me to watch, because I spent many sleepless nights coming up with answers, and then that came up with more questions, and it was totally ridiculous. But I hope that answers your question. Thirdly, what would your perfect man be if you don't feel comfortable answering any? Oh, no, I don't mind answering that at all. That's totally fine. As I say, as long as it's nothing graphic, I'm happy to answer. My perfect man. Well, my perfect man, I think, would be smart, because I think the sexiest thing out there is intelligence. I've thought that for a very long time. I've always likened myself to a Ravenclaw when it comes to Harry Potter. So someone who's intelligent, someone who's loving, I don't know, someone who just, yeah, that I guess would be there for me. And yeah, I just, yeah, someone that I could love, and yeah, I think that would just, it'd be nice because I've heard so many stories, particularly in the gay culture, and I'm not saying everyone's like this, but I've heard so many stories in the gay culture where people are like, you know, on again, off again, and one night stands and all that sort of thing, and I don't want that. I would like to settle down with someone and be with them for a long time. And you know, you hear things where people have like their 50-year anniversaries and stuff like that. So I'm very much a romantic at heart, and I hope that answers your question. Skylar says, good morning, Vietnam. Good morning, Skylar. It is so great to have you here. I love that. Sarah says, it's okay. Yeah, so no problems. I had no problems answering that at all. President A says, have you been to Oz Comic Con? If so, did you meet anyone? I have not been to Oz Comic Con. I believe my friend Sonia has one time, and I was very jealous when I found out she had, but I have not. But it is something that I would love to go to, particularly if the Charm Stars end up showing up there. I would definitely love to go, but I have not been there as yet. Angels is here. Angels says, hey guys, hey Angels, you made it. Yay, I'm so happy. I got back to your comment on my last video. I'm so happy that you're here, Angels. Thank you for being here. Skylar says, what do you do for work when you're not YouTubing? I am a tennis court supervisor. So basically my job is to go to tournaments, tennis tournaments that are being played, and make sure that everything is kept in order. So if there are any issues or anything like that, I'm the one that they call on court to sort it out. So for me, some people say it's exciting, some don't, but I sort of look at it as, do you guys watch The People's Court? I look at it as like, I'm the Marilyn Milian of tennis. So they'll call me on, I listen to both sides. You know, it's like, you have a problem with you? Tell me what's going on. We'll start with you first, sort of thing. And I try and, you know, resolve whatever issues there are and stuff like that. So that's, yeah, I have a lot of fun with it. I really do enjoy it. So that's what I do. Sarah says, have you ever experienced anything paranormal? Yes, I have. The scariest paranormal thing that I've experienced is when I was doing some adult education quite a few years ago. I wrote a script for The Nanny, and I wanted to put on this play for the school and for anyone else who wanted to come along, and all the money raised was going to go to charity. Unfortunately, this fell through. The reason why it fell through is because the lead actress who I cast to play Fran, who was so good at it, unfortunately she ended up being in a car accident and she landed in a coma and she passed away. It was a very sad story, and it was something that was very hard for me to deal with because I'd grown to have a great connection and friendship with her. About 3 or so days later, I was at the cinemas with my family, and it was one of those rare moments when you go to the cinemas and they're not that full. Like, there was only a couple of other people there at the time, and I swear I felt a hand like grab onto my shoulder, and there was no one in the seats next to me, and we're in the back row. And I knew immediately, or at least in my mind, I felt like it was that person. So that was certainly one of the most scary paranormal experiences that I've had. But I have had others as well, and they've all been very interesting. Also, are you a spiritual person? You have great energy. I can almost feel it through the screen. Oh, thank you, Sarah. I am a spiritual person, yes, very much so. As I've said a couple of times now, if I were to prescribe to any religion, it will be Wicca, but I do feel like I am a free spirit, and I do believe in the spiritual world and in the supernatural and all of that. So definitely, I feel like I'm a very spiritual person. Thank you, and thank you very much for noticing, and thank you for the very good question. I'm loving your questions, guys. This is awesome. Sarah says, good question. Yes, absolutely. Skylar says, oh my God, Sarah, is your little icon picture a picture of you? So you're super gorgeous. Oh, yes, it is a beautiful picture, isn't it? Skylar says, I just realized I wrote go morning instead of good morning, #facepalm. That's okay. I knew what you were saying, Skylar. Sarah says, I'm a romantic at heart too. Oh, that's beautiful. Angel says, nobody noticed, Skylar. We love you anyway. Oh, Skylar says, oh, thank you, angels. You guys too. Sarah A says to Skylar, yes, it's me. So funny you said that because I was looking at your picture wondering if I had a secret sister. I don't know about. We look quite alike when I'm not posing. Oh, that is so cool. Skylar says, haha, Sarah, I can be your curly hair twin. Awesome. Skylar says, Francois, what is your favorite kind of food? This has got to be the easiest question for me to answer because it's one that I've been answering for years and it has never changed. So if you don't like eating carbs, you might want to cover your ears when I give you this answer. My favorite food, without a shred of doubt, has to be pasta. It has been since I was born. It's never changed, and I've always joked with my mum that I was Italian in another life because no matter what it is, I love it, whether it's spaghetti, ravioli, tortellini, whatever. I love pasta. So anytime Mum wanted to make me a meal that she knew I would love, she would almost always make pasta. Like, yes, she would mix it up, and there are other things I like as well, but my favorite food was always pasta. Angel says, no, please no more secret twins. I love it. Gabriella's here. She says, hi. Hola, Gabriella. Thank you for being here. Angel says, hey, Gabriella. Skylar says, Angel's lol, no more twins in Francois's voice. Angels is smiling. Tori says, pasta for the win. Yay! Skylar says, I love seafood. I love shrimp pasta. Lol. Oh, nice. So here's a little confession for you guys when it comes to food. You know how people can be vegan or vegetarian or whatever, and that's really great. I definitely respect that. I've started saying to people that I'm a seafooditarian because not only because I don't like it, but it doesn't agree with me. I've never had seafood that I've tried that has sat well with me at all. I always end up feeling sick or nauseous or whatever when I have seafood. So unfortunately, I'm a seafooditarian, and I just, can't eat seafood. So whenever people talk to me and they say, look, is there anything you don't eat? I will say I don't eat seafood. And I also say I don't eat lamb. For a very long time now, I've chosen not to eat lamb. Two reasons. One, I don't like lamb, but also two, once I found out, how lamb becomes cooked lamb, I straight away felt sorry for poor little Lammy. I went out and got a little lamb soft toy and have never eaten lamb again since. So seafooditarian, and I don't eat lamb. Sarah says, Francois, favourite childhood cartoon. The first one that comes to mind, my absolute favourite when I was a kid, was a cartoon called Captain Planet. It was my absolute favourite show. Some of you may be too young to know it, but it was about these 5 people who had magic rings, and each ring had an element. So earth, air, fire, wind, water, and heart. Every episode they would go to Mother Earth or this lady called Gaia, and she would get them to go out and deal with naturistic problems that had happened thanks to these polluters that were always trying to do things. So I loved that show. And I think as an adult, looking back on what the show was trying to do, I appreciate it even more because it was trying to spread how we can look after the earth more. So I think that's fantastic. But there were quite a few cartoons that I loved. Let's see what another one might be. I was a huge fan of the film Aladdin, so I know that Aladdin used to have cartoons, cartoon versions, so I used to love watching them as well. There was another cartoon I used to watch called Bonkers, but I haven't seen it for ages, so I don't know if any of you even know what Bonkers is, but I still love that. Yeah, so that would probably cover it. I'll go a level up and say what my favorite cartoons are as an adult. I love The Simpsons, I love South Park, and I love American Dad, and I love Bob's Burgers. So I love all of those shows. Oh, I like Family Guy as well. So yeah, I like all 5 of those, and I do watch them as soon as I can watch them. Because I do love them. Although last season of South Park wasn't exactly the best season ever, but I'm hoping that the one that's coming up will be much better. President A says, have you got a... Oh, the questions are coming in. Give me a moment. Have you got a singer or a band you grew up liking, you were embarrassed, you liked them? Oh, that is a good question. Um, yeah, for a little while, I would say Delta Goodrum when I was younger, because anytime I would tell people I like Delta, I would get met with this whole reaction of, "Ugh, of course you do," and people just wouldn't care, and I really hated that. But I screamed out loud from the rooftops. You guys know I talk about Delta all the time. But who else? I guess the Spice Girls, even when they were sort of going out of fashion. Um, who else did I love that I was ashamed? Oh, not necessarily. What was your word? That I was embarrassed to love. But even older singers, like I had a lot of love for Celine Dion when I was younger. A lot of the divas. I loved Olivia Newton-John, Michael Crawford. So like more like Michael Crawford was obviously much more classical and opera style, musical theatre as well. He did. Anthony Warlow. So people like that, I would definitely say. And I also found out that I loved a band that I never knew the name of, and have nowadays discovered that the band's name was the Weather Girls. So I love the Weather Girls, but I didn't know their name at the time. Skylar says, "Oh my God, come to New York for seafood, or New Orleans. Their seafood is great too." Well, I'm happy to try, but we'll see. Tori says, "Any allergies like nuts or something?" I used to think I had an allergic reaction to red artificial flavored products. I don't know if that was a lie that I was told in my past or what, but I've since then, since I've been an adult, had red artificial things that's done nothing to me. But yeah, not that I'm aware of. Certainly not as far as food is concerned, but I do tell doctors that I can't have penicillin. But yeah, as far as food is concerned, not as far as I know, no. Angel says, "I went to Pride in London yesterday and it was great. I should send some pics." Yeah, you totally should, Angels. That would be awesome. Gabriella says, "I'm going back to Mexico in a couple of weeks to eat a lot of delicious Mexican food. Haha, do you like it?" I love Mexican. Oh my gosh. The only thing that I have with Mexican is I'm really not good with spicy food. But obviously, you know, Mexican food can be spicy. It's all different variations of spicy food. But the actual food itself, I love. One of my favorite, all-time favorite foods is enchiladas. I love enchiladas, but I have to make them myself so I don't make them spicy. But yeah, I love enchiladas. I love burritos. I love nachos. I'm a huge Mexican food fan. Absolutely. I don't go to Mexican too often if I go to a restaurant, but I will at least go once or twice a year. Absolutely. I do love it. A lot of people love Chinese. I prefer Mexican, personally. Skylar says, "Oh my God, does anyone remember Popeye?" Yes, I absolutely remember Popeye. I did used to watch him back in the day. Sarah says, "Captain Planet, Captain Planet, he's a hero, gonna take pollution down to zero." Was that an American show? I'm pretty sure it was not Australian. Pretty sure it was American. President A says, "Have a question for you. Someone from the show we don't speak about eats nothing but seafood as a meat. Can you name the person?" Oh God. I'd have to go on a limb, because I have no idea, and I'm probably just going to guess Janelle Parrish, but I have no idea, really, at all, no. Honey is here. Hey, Honey. Honey says, "I remember Popeye. Yes, Popeye the Sailor Man." Angel says, "Hell yes, Popeye and Olive." I don't remember Olive, unfortunately. Angel says, "Hey, Honey." So, where are we? Skylar says, "I just randomly thought about Popeye and hi, Honey. That's so cool." Honey says, "Hi." Skylar says, "I used to love Out of the Box. It was a Disney show and they did lots of arts and crafts, and so I grew up loving arts and crafts." There you go. I've never seen the show. Skylar says, "Also it was like the first diverse show I could remember on Disney, with an Asian woman and a black man as the main characters." Awesome. I think that's really cool. We had a show here in Australia, so if you're Australian, you might know this show that I did love, but it wasn't a cartoon, but it was a kid's show, called Mr. Squiggle. If you haven't seen it, oh my gosh, like you should show your kids this show because it's so innocent. What happens is children send in unfinished drawings. So drawings they've started but they haven't finished. And then this puppet with a pencil for a nose, a grey lead pencil for a nose, that was a marionette puppet, would finish off the drawing. It was really awesome. I love that show. Skylar, I just read that. Honey says, do you remember Big Juice that used to come on Disney? No, sorry, I don't, honey. I wish I did. I'm so sorry. Sarah says, That's So Raven was the bomb. Sorry, I'm an early 2000s kid and she's coming back. I can't wait. I'm dead. I have seen some episodes of That's So Raven and I did like it. I like Raven. Yeah, and I first saw her was it in That's So Raven or was it in a film? I think I first saw her in a film. But I don't remember which one. I know she's in Princess Diaries too, but that's not the one I'm referring to. Honey Hepburn says, Bug Juice. No, I don't know the show, sorry. Honey says, yes, Raven is coming back. Megan Rose is here. Hi, Megan. She says, hi. I'm so glad you do weekend chats. Yes, and we're definitely going to be doing some weekend chats from now on, especially with our show club. But for today, I'm handing the mic to you guys and letting you ask me anything you want to ask me. Skylar says, haha, yes, honey, Sarah. I loved Raven too. Awesome. Angel says, I used to be addicted to the shittest soap on Channel 5, which was American called Sunset Beach. Does anyone remember it? No, sorry, I don't. Skylar says, random weird thing about me, I don't eat orange candies. I pick them out. Oh, that is so cool. It's funny because it reminds me of, is that, a film with Jennifer Lopez that I can't remember where she's starring with Matthew McConaughey and he says with the M&Ms you take out all the colour ones and only eat the brown ones because chocolate's already brown. But I love that. That's so cool. Sarah says, do you believe in things like past lives? Yes, I do. I did this thing once that I read in a book and I got an answer and ever since then I have believed in past lives. And I'm happy to reveal the short version of what I discovered. What I discovered, and I definitely believe, is that back in a past life, I was at a masquerade ball. I saw an image of myself, and it was quite incredible what I saw. So I was very happy with that. Honey says, yes, Sunset Beach and Passions came to Australia, yes, with Timmy and the witch lady, and I forgot her name. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Angel says, oh my God, honey, you remember Sunset Beach? I was obsessed, but it was so bad, lol. Honey says it was, but I used to be a bandwagoner. Angel says, incidentally, Sunset Beach also went with the whole evil twin thing. Oh, there you go. Sarah says, do you do tarot cards, angel cards? I'd love if you could do a video talking about your Wicca experience. Oh, that'd be great. Thank you. I have done them in the past, yes. I've had tarot readings and I've done tarot readings. Yes, absolutely. So thank you. Yeah, look, we can definitely do a Wicca chat if people are interested in it, for sure. Sarah says, oh, good old Mr. Squiggle. I'm so glad you remember it, Sarah, because I'm sure Americans and Europeans are going, what the hell are you talking about? But it was such a good show, especially for my childhood. It was such a great show. President A says, just so you know, the person who eats nothing but fish as a meat from the show we don't speak of is Troy and Belisario. Oh, there you go. I didn't know that. Oh, thank you for telling me. Annabelle is here. Hey, Annabelle. She says, hello, lovelies. Hello, Annabelle. How are you? Skylar says, I was a big fan of Boy Meets World. Do you know I have still not seen that? So many people have recommended that I watch it, and I still haven't seen it. So I have to find a way to get a copy of it. Sarah says, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. Yes, of course, I remember Postman Pat. Sorry, that was random. I've got all these weird kids shows theme songs us Aussie kids watched in the 90s. Yes, absolutely, Postman Pat all the way. And what was it called? I think in America you'd call it Babar, but here in Australia we would say Baba. Even though it's not a hairdresser, the elephant, Baba, right? Baba, Baba. I used to love that. It was such a beautiful cartoon. No problems that it was stuck in your head. Feel free to shout anything stuck in your head out to me, Sarah. That's fine. Angel says, it worries me that the show we don't speak of has 3 of the 4 main actors have or had eating disorders. Not a good influence on their young viewers. I agree, but I do love that Troyan is releasing this film called Feed. I think it's wonderful because hopefully it will help people. Hopefully people will learn from the film, but we'll have to see. Scarlett says, oh, I know that movie with J-Lo, The Wedding Planner. That's right, The Wedding Planner. Such a good film. What did I say? Yes, a very good film. And yeah, Matthew McConaughey's character takes out all the coloured M&Ms and says he only eats the brown ones. When she asks why, he says, because I figure chocolate's already brown, so they're okay. And then she repeats that line towards the end of the film, and it's so beautiful. Honey says, I know we are done with the show we don't mention, but the character who plays Maya plays a mum on a show called Queen Sugar that comes on the OWN or OWN network. Yes, I've heard of it, and I'm definitely going to check it out as soon as I get a chance. I was shows free today, so I started watching a show that you've probably all seen all the episodes of, but I've only seen the pilot, so don't give it away. 13 Reasons Why. I finally watched the pilot episode, and I loved it so much. So I'm on that bandwagon at the moment. Sarah says, I do believe in past lives as well and have vague memories or feelings about mine, but I don't like sharing it with many people. No, that's totally fine, Sarah. I completely understand that. Tabitha was the witch lady in Passions and her doll Timmy. Yes, absolutely. That's right. Cool. Thank you. Good memory. Angel says, fun fact, Bianca Lawson, who plays Maya, is much older than people think, mid to late 30s, and is also Beyonce's stepsister. She is? Oh my God, that is so cool. I didn't know either of those facts, so that is awesome. I have a lot of love for Bianca Lawson, and I loved seeing her in Witches of East End as well. If you guys haven't seen Witches of East End, I would definitely recommend you check it out. It's a great show. Scarlett says, by the way, I fell asleep during the other chat, but yes, I'm really liking Charmed. Today might be a Charmed day for me. Yay! That is so cool. I'm so glad you're loving it. I can't wait to do our first show club, which will be next Sunday, so a week from now. Scarlett says, Boy Meets World is a classic, and it's funny with great characters, and you see them grow in the show. Yeah, so apparently they then released Girl Meets World or something, or Man, I don't know, something else, but they did them as kids and now they're parents. Like, that's what I've heard. I haven't seen it at all, but apparently that's what I've heard. Sarah says, The Elephant Do Baba. Yes, I remember that show. Yes, Baba. It was American, right? It wasn't Australian. I'm pretty sure it wasn't Australian. Pretty sure I remember in the show them calling him Baba rather than Baba, like we would say. Megan says, does anyone remember the kids show Rosie and Jim or Tots TV? No, Megan, I'm so sorry. I don't remember either of those. I'm so sorry about that. Honey says, yes, Angels, and she looks great for her, I'm guessing you mean age? Yeah, for her age. Yes, she definitely does. Bianca Lawson, definitely. Sarah says, Noddy, the little man with the red and yellow car, Noddy. Yes, of course I remember Noddy. I used to love Noddy. And then when I grew up, people kept saying that Noddy and Big Ears were this homoerotic thing, and I was like, oh my God, no, they were just good friends. Come on, let it go. Sarah says, I'm so sad Witches of East End was cancelled. I love it. I know, it was horrendous that they did that, and there are still petitions out there, believe it or not, because I found it the other day, a petition to bring back Witches of East End, and I signed it. But yeah, I think it's completely over now, but it was so well done, and I forgot the name of the mum, but I would love to see her in other shows because I loved the mum. I've forgotten her name, and that's really annoying. But I also loved Aunt Wendy, and the actress that plays Aunt Wendy in Witches of East End is now in Riverdale, and she plays one of the characters' mothers, the one that works for the paper. Ugh, I forgot. Oh, I'm so bad with names. Sarah says, yeah, I just read that. Okay. Angels says, Fam, existential crisis question, shall I get a cider? Yes, you should, Angels, definitely. Skylar says, Girl Meets World is okay, not as great as Boy Meets World. Okay, awesome. So I definitely start with Boy Meets World. Sarah says, I looked the petition up too, but I doubt it will happen. I loved the auntie. Yeah, Aunt Wendy. She was awesome. As I say, she's in, what's it called? Riverdale right now, which I'm so happy she is. I miss all of them. They're all so great. I loved Freya as well, and Ingrid, and like that whole show was just so good. And the way it ended got me so excited, and then it just stopped, and it was really sad. But yeah, if you like Charmed, Witches of East End is not Charmed, but it's close. So it's a good compromise, is what I would say. Skylar says, so my grandma didn't have cable, so I would watch PBS Kids, and Dragon Tales and Cyber Chase were shown on that channel. Does anyone recognize those shows? No, unfortunately. I'm so sorry. No. But I did watch a kids game show back in the day called Amazing, but again, it's an Australian show, so you guys probably don't know it. Annabelle says, amazing that you have written with supernatural elements and follow dramas such as Shadowhunters. Did you ever watch The Vampire Diaries while it was running, or the originals, and opinions? Still have not seen the originals. I have seen The Vampire Diaries, but not all of it. I've seen up to and include, oh wait, no, I've seen up to where we say goodbye to the doppelganger, I think. I have to try and remember because it's been a while. But I did like Vampire Diaries. I don't know why I stopped watching. Actually, I was getting, it was, I don't know, it was getting a bit weird for me, honestly. Like, not weird as in supernaturally weird, because I love Supernatural. But I don't know, it started to change, and I didn't like the direction it was going in. But from what I saw, like especially the early seasons, I loved Vampire Diaries. I was a huge fan of it when I watched the first season. I thought it was good, but I came in late, and I always come in late with shows. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, thank you, and thank you for knowing that I write with supernatural elements. That's awesome that you know that. Sarah says, and on the vampire thing, did you watch True Blood's thoughts on Twilight as well? Haven't seen True Blood, but it has been recommended to me to watch. I love Twilight, but I have to say, I have seen, I think, the first 2 films, but before any of the films came out, I'd read the books. As you guys know, I'm a huge fan of reading, so I'd read all the books. I loved them all. And yeah, so the films were okay, but I prefer the books. I much prefer the books to the film. But I wanted to see without giving anything away, if you've read and watched all of it, I wanted to see the first 5 minutes of the last film. And if you've seen Twilight, you'll know why. I wanted to see that happen in the film. And it was okay. It wasn't what I thought it would be, but it was okay. Scarlett says, wait, you watch Supernatural? The originals, I think, is slightly better than Vampire Diaries. I watch Supernatural shows, but I do not watch the show Supernatural anymore. I watched the first season, and the cheese stands alone. I'm going to give you my honest opinion here at this press conference. I found the title Supernatural to be honestly the weirdest title you could give that show, because I've never seen a more mortal approach to a supernatural world in my life. So once I got through the first season, I was out. And there's nothing against the guys. I think they're both great, and I love I keep forgetting his name. But the guy who plays Sam in Supernatural, because he played Dean in Gilmore Girls. So I have a lot of love for him. But I just, didn't like the show. Because it just wasn't supernatural enough for me. Although I did see a scene where who is it? Dean dies, and I think he goes to like hell or something. That was awesome, the way they did that. But the majority of it, I just found way too mortal for me. The originals, I think, is slightly better than Vampire Diaries. Well, I definitely have to check it out. President A says, another Troyan Belisario question, which show does her dad produce and direct, and true or false, did Troyan appear in 2 or more episodes of her dad's show? I don't remember the name, but I think it was like 2 or 3 episodes. I haven't seen it, but I've heard her be interviewed about it, so I don't know the name, unfortunately. Sarah says, thoughts on Harry Potter movies? Did you read the books? Good question, Sarah. I read all of the books before I saw any of their respective films. So I think when the first film came out, there were still other books that were coming out. But yeah, I read all the books before I saw the films. And thoughts on the movies and the films? I thought they did a pretty reasonable job with the casting. I was very happy with the casting of Emma Watson as Hermione Granger because she's exactly what I pictured. If I was going to take a preference over the books or the films, I prefer the books. I much prefer the books. I think they're much more detailed, obviously, because, you know, you have less time with films. And as far as the films are concerned, I loved Sorcerer's Stone, which again, I don't like that they changed the name because the book is called Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. The film is called Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Because Nicholas Flamel was a philosopher. He wasn't a sorcerer. But anyway, I liked film 1, 2, and 3. I did not like film 4 at all. And sorry, but I just didn't like it. 5 was good because the lady they cast to play Umbridge played her role really well. And the last couple were okay. I did not like the last film, part 1. I found it rather boring, to be honest. But I loved part 2 and it ended really well. So the film did justice for the fans, the last one. So I was happy with that. Angel says, was it Suits? Oh, no, it wasn't Suits. But I have had Suits recommended to me. President A is saying no, Angels. But Troyan was in Suits. That's correct. Yeah, and so is her husband. Skylar says, Supernatural gets so much better after the first season. Some great characters develop later on. Well, then I might have to give it a go. My friend Sonia loves Supernatural. Like, she's totally obsessed with it, just like I was with Queer as Folk USA back in the day, and certainly the show we don't mention. No one calls her during Supernatural. Angel says, fun fact, Troyan's husband is Patrick J. Adams, who plays Mike Ross in Suits, and Troyan appeared as Claire in a few episodes. Yeah, so I knew that because my sister was telling me, she's like, you will love Suits, and even if you don't think you will, Spencer's in a few episodes. So I still have to give it a go. President A says the answer was NCIS. Oh. And if it's true, she appeared in 2 episodes. I did not know that she appeared in 2 episodes of NCIS. I would have to have a look at that. Skylar says, I could never get into Harry Potter growing up. I think for me, I always loved magic. And so I got the first, I think it was 2 or 3 books for Christmas one year. And my mum knew that I loved reading books, so that's why she bought them for me. And she also knew I loved magic. I felt like I could relate to Harry in many ways in his muggle life. And so to have the escape of reading Harry Potter and go into this magical world was just wonderful for me. So wonderful that I would get on the train to go to school and to come back to school, and I would miss my stop because I'll be so engrossed in the books. I absolutely love them. But, you know, everyone's different. I would definitely, as I say, if anyone has seen Vampire Academy, the film, and you hated the film, don't completely disregard it. Read the books. The books are so much darker and they're so much better. And same with Twilight. From what I've seen, because I've seen the first 2 films, and the books are better than the films. President A says, Angels, Angels, can you name Patrick J. Adams' character in the show we don't speak about? There you go. Sarah says, they missed a lot of the Harry Potter movies than what was in the books. Favorite Harry Potter character? Yeah, they did. They missed a lot of moments And one of them that really got to me, so there are a few that got to me. One of them really got to me was in the Triwizard one, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. The gillyweed that Neville gives him in the film, Dobby gives it to him in the book. And that really upset me because I love Dobby and I even loved him in the film. So I was like, why is Neville giving this to you? This is nuts. But also, there is a scene in one of the books, one of the films, I don't remember which film it is, where the Weasleys' house goes on fire. That never happens in the book. That was completely made up for the film. So I sort of went in with a bit of a, you know, I've read the books, I have expectations sort of mode, and I picked up a few things that I didn't like. But as I say, I felt like it ended well. My favorite Harry Potter character would have to be Hermione Granger. But again, I love intelligent characters. So, I mean, you know, it's not just this. Like in Harry Potter, my favorite character is Hermione Granger. In The Simpsons, my favorite character is Lisa. So, you know, I very much, and my favorite character in Pretty Little Liars, the show we don't mention, is Spencer. So I love intelligent characters. So I had a huge love for Hermione for a very long time. Annabelle says, oh my god, speaking of Dean, did you watch the Gilmore Girls short series? I have so many feelings about it. Mostly not that great. It almost felt like Marlene could have written it. Oh, good one, Annabelle. Yes, I watched it. I was so excited. I was like, oh my god, Gilmore Girls is coming back. I counted down the months. I counted down the weeks. I counted down the days. I finally cleared a day so that I could watch it. It took me 2 days to get through it. But I cleared a day so I could watch it. And oh my god, I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed. And what made it worse was that the series ends with an open ending. So it's like, it's not truly closed. And oh, there's nothing more frustrating than that. But yeah, there were good things in the series, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't anything like I expected. And it fell very short for me. But in saying that, I am still a fan of Gilmore Girls. I loved the series. So, yeah. Sarah says, do you have or would you ever get any tattoos or piercings? Piercings, no. For a long time, I always said I would not get a tattoo because I'm trypanophobic. I have well, some people say an irrational fear of needles. However, I have said that on my deathbed, or if I can conquer my fear of needles, I would like to get a tattoo on the back of my neck of a pentacle. I've said that for a very long time. So if I can get over my fear of needles, I would definitely get a tattoo of a pentacle on the back of my neck. But I started watching, what's that reality tattoo show? Ink Master. Sonia got me onto Ink Master. I love that show. So I have a much deeper appreciation of tattoos after watching Ink Master. Really good show. President A says, what's the worst movie you've ever seen and why? Oh, God. I've probably, like, let it go because it was that terrible. That is a really good question. The worst movie. I'm going to have to come back to that one, but to give you an answer on the spot, I will say Vampire Academy, because I was so disappointed with what they did. They took a book that was very dark and brooding and very serious, and they turned it into Mean Girls with Vampires. So I was very offended by that. But let me think about it, and I will get back to you on that one, because I'm sure that I probably just tried to, you know, let them go because they were so terrible. But good question, though. Megan says, what's your favorite fruit? Haha, I'm in a random mood whilst doing the ironing and love knowing random facts. No, that's great, Megan. That's the point of this. Just ask any questions you want to ask. My favorite fruit is bananas. I've always loved them. I've always had sensitive issues with acidic fruits, and bananas are sweet, and I like sweet things. So it was just a match made in heaven. I like bananas in drinks and cakes and everything, and also on their own. So I like bananas best. What about you guys? Annabelle says, did you know that Daniel Radcliffe often came to set drunk? No, I did not know that. I think people often forget the physical and mental toll roles like that take on people, let alone that are a child or teenager. Now I can say that I'm starting to understand it. Don't hate me, but if you want to see a show that shows the struggles that someone goes through being in a film, don't hate me, watch Famous in Love. Because the point of Famous in Love, at least to the last 5 minutes, is that this main girl gets the role in a film, and she's just a normal average human being. She gets a role in a major film, and they show you what she goes through and the struggles she goes through being the lead in this film. And that's what I loved about it. I shoved aside that it was done by IMK, and I loved watching the struggles that she went through. It was really well done. So I won't talk any more about FIL, I promise. Maria says, hey everyone, really late. I thought of a song for you to look up, Scars to You're Beautiful, by Alyssa Cara. Oh, excellent. I will definitely have to look it up. Let me write it down. Gosh, I've got so many notes here from past chats, you guys, which is so cool. And I look up everything that you guys suggest to me, so thank you for that. Scars to You're Beautiful. Definitely look that up. Thank you very much. President A says, have you ever seen the Troyan lookalike who apparently lives in Melbourne who Keegan took a picture with? No, I have not. I didn't even know there was one. So yeah, can you send me a link or whatever, or show me the picture? If you do, maybe I'll know who she is. But yeah, I didn't even know that was the case. Angel says to President A, I can't remember Patrick Adams' name in the show, we won't mention, but he played Ezra's college buddy. Oh my God, he was in that show? He was actually in the show we weren't mentioning? There you go. Oh, the college buddy, the one that plays darts with Arya. Oh my God, I don't remember his name either. There you go. Annabelle says, I'm saddest that, I'm saddest that Winky the house elf was cut out of Harry Potter, even though she was so important and beautiful in the books, not to mention Hermione setting up a society for elves. Yay for equality. Yeah, I completely agree. I was very disheartened when I saw that Winky was not there. So obviously we set up SPEW. Do you remember what SPEW stands for? And of course it's not SPEW. That's a joke for Harry Potter fans that read the book. It's not SPEW, Ron. I was very sad about that as well, because yeah, it was a very important part of the film. So I completely agree with you. Definitely yay for equality all the way. I definitely would have been on board with Hermione and helped her out. And I definitely would have been putting hats under newspapers, just like Hermione was. Sarah says, Annabelle, I was going to say they completely missed out on SPEW. Yes, the Society for the House Elves thing in the movies. Yes, exactly right. Woo. Just a moment. Oh, cool. You sent me the picture. No, I've never met her. Thank you, President A. I've never met her. I'm going to close Facebook though so we don't hear that noise again. Okay. President A says Patrick J. Adams' character was Hardy, Ezra's mate who met Arya at the bar. Okay, so Hardy was his name. Awesome. Miss Exalia is here. Hey, Miss Exalia, thanks so much for coming. She says, I don't know if anyone has already asked. I just got here, but what is your favorite book? That is a very good question. A very good question. Because it's hard to pick one. It really is. Oh gosh, it really is so hard to pick one. And I mean, are we talking fiction? Are we talking non-fiction? It's so hard to limit it down to one. But if you want to ask me more specific questions about books, I will certainly give you answers. But I can't pick just one. I have so many. I love the Harry Potter series. I love the Vampire Diaries series. I love the Vampire Academy series. I love the spin-off from the Vampire Academy series. I love the Choose Your Own Adventure books when I was younger, and I still do. I just can't track them down anywhere for some reason. As far as non-fiction books, I like autobiographies. One of my favorites is Serena Williams' Queen of the Court. I love that book. Very well done. Fran Drescher's Cancer Schmancer, and many others as well. So I just can't name one, unfortunately. Annabelle says, haha, Francois, that plug. I have considered watching Famous in Love, but I'm a bit scared because I'm not a fan of Bella Thorne. Maybe I will now. Yeah, look, I think I can understand that people may not because she was in another show, so I that's fine. I hadn't seen her before this. I will say this, she has a very hot roommate, and she has a very hot castmate. So if you want a boy reason to watch it, there you go. They're both very good looking. But yeah, like it shows her struggles that she goes through going from a non-famous person to a famous person overnight. And it's really well done. And I can't believe I'm saying that about IMK, but it is really well done. Angel says, President A, Hardy, that's it. Thanks for the update. Both Patrick and Troy are very good actors in my opinion. Awesome. Annabelle Saru. Give me a moment. Sorry, Annabelle, sorry, just a moment. Annabelle says, have you ever found a doppelganger of yourself or been compared to any celebrities? Never. Which I guess is, for me, a good thing. I like being an individual. I like being a plum. I will tell you this, though, there were dark days where I hated my name because I hated how individual it is over here in Australia. So, I mean, it's not common that you come across a Francois in Australia. But I've grown to love my individuality. But no, never come across a doppelganger. No one's ever compared me to a celebrity. If you'd like to, feel free to go ahead. I'm sure it'll be an honor. But no one has ever done that with me. And I've never seen one, no. Maria says, are you allergic to anything? I'm allergic to raspberries. No, not as far as I know. Oh, well, penicillin, but aside from that, no, not as far as I know. Sarah says, what would be your spirit animal? I would say it'd be a wolf or a panther. It'd be one of those two, a wolf or a panther. I mean, I've been thinking about that for many years. That's how I can give you an answer. Depends on the day. I'm still deciding that. Kimberly's here. Hey, Kimberly, thank you for being here. Kimberly, who is my comment below, let me know, cousin. Kimberly says, books over movies always. Who is your favorite author, Francois? Again, a very tough question to ask. Excuse me. My very first favorite author was Enid Blyton. I loved her for many, many years. And then J.K. Rowling for several years. Like when I started reading the first book, I just went, oh my God, this woman is very talented. Excuse me. Rochelle Mead. I have a lot of love for Rochelle Mead. Yeah, I like a lot of different authors. Back when I was younger, I liked Paul Jennings and Morris Gleitzman, very famous Australian writers. And I was very lucky because at our high school, we had what was called a Young Writers Conference. And so if you went along to them, we had celebrity writers who came to the school, such as Paul Jennings and Morris Gleitzman and others. And we got to not only meet them, but do activities with them. Excuse me, I'm just going to have a drink. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, I hope that answers your question. President A says, sent you the photo on Messenger of Keegan and Troy. Yeah, so I saw that. I don't know who she is, I'm sorry. Annabelle says, and who is your spirit animal? Yeah, so I just answered that. I think it's either a wolf or a panther. It really depends on the day. Skylar says, House of Anubis was a good show. Many people were into it when it was out. Oh, there you go. Haven't seen it, unfortunately. Angel says, fun fact. Give me a sec, guys. Patrick Adams and Troyan were actually split up at the time he accepted the minor role in PLL. He tried hard to get it to spend more time with her and reconnect, and it worked. They're married now. That is so awesome. Good to know that fact there, Angels. Thank you. Miss Exalia says, my favorite books ever are the Harry Potter series too. Yay! But I usually prefer mystery or dramas. Do you like any books in these genres? Yes, I do, but they need to be really good mysteries. And I've tried to find some really good mysteries on amateur websites, because I love reading amateur books as well. So I have to say that also while I'm here. But I couldn't come across anything that was a really, really good mystery, and so that's why I started writing mysteries myself. But yeah, which mysteries do you like? Maria Ann says, yeah, I've heard that before, Angels. They make a cute couple. Oh, there you go. Angel says, Maria Ann, yes, they do make an awesome couple. President A says, no more Troyan questions, just a big fan of hers. Everything she's done. Did you ever watch Gossip Girl? What did you think of the Gossip Girl reveal? Was it better than the show We Don't Speak About finale? In my opinion, it will take a lot to find a show whose finale is worse than the show We Don't mention. So in saying that, I think Gossip Girl was better. Not by much, but I do think it was better. Yes, I do. Yeah, so I've had some dud finales I've seen, like Seventh Heaven, which really upset me because I went through a very long series there and then had a disappointing finale. Secret Life of the American Teenager, which is where I first saw Shailene Woodley, and that was a great series, and the finale was just really terrible. But no, the show we didn't speak of outranks them all. Sarah says, did you ever read The Folk of the Faraway Tree growing up? Yes, I did read The Faraway Tree, absolutely, yes. I loved The Faraway Tree. I had a huge love of Moonface and Silky and the land above the top of the tree, which I forgot what it was called, but every week it would change. And I've been trying to work out how the heck to create a pop biscuit. I'm so glad that you watched, you read The Faraway Tree, because they described this thing called a pop biscuit. And when you put it in your mouth, it bursts and you get this like mouthful of honey. And I would love to create it. You mentioned Enid Blyton. Yes, I also love the Paul Jennings and Morris Gleitzman's books and Goosebumps as a kid. Yeah, me too. I read the Goosebumps books as well. They were really awesome. I didn't like the shows. When they started putting out the shows, I didn't like them, but I did like the books. Annabelle says, are you into any of Rick Riordan's series? I honestly can't say because I haven't read any of his books. So I'm so sorry about that. I haven't read them. Sarah says, oh, and speaking of magic-themed shows and movies, did you watch The Worst Witch television show as a kid? No, I did not watch it as a kid. However, my one of my besties, as you guys know, Nathan, he introduced me to it. And oh my gosh, we binge watched like half a season. And yes, I grew to love it very quickly. It's a good show, The Worst Witch, yes. And I did read, I'm sure it was a series or something, because I remember reading about The Worst Witch. So I'm sure I read it, but I'd never seen it as a show until he introduced it to me a couple of years ago. Maria Ann says, Annabelle also said, who is your spirit animal, not just what? Oh, who? Oh, that is a very good question that I don't have an answer to yet. I'm so sorry, I don't have an answer to that yet, but once I get one, I will let you guys know. Jin says, morning, Jin. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm so sorry that I skipped over that, Annabelle. Thank you for saying that, Maria Ann. It was like that show We Don't Mention, where that person we don't mention was interviewed, and she was asked something from Landon here at comment below and let me know, and she didn't answer either of those questions. She answered what she thought was part of it, but it was completely wrong anyway. So yeah, I'm so sorry I missed that. Annabelle says, yes, who, a twist on spirit animals. We all have someone we just really F with on a spiritual level. Can you explain that a little more to me, Annabelle? Maybe I'm just misunderstanding what you mean by that. Like, do you mean a celebrity or a friend? Or just explain that a little more to me and I might be able to give you an answer. Sarah says, weirdly, I've been re-watching Seventh Heaven lately. Yay! Favorite Seventh Heaven character. So hard to come up with a favorite. I loved Mary Camden, and I was so sad when Jessica Biel was kicked out of Seventh Heaven. Oh my God. Every time I see the intervention episode with her and the family, I cry for her. Because that must have been so hard for Jessica Biel to do. I liked Simon when he was younger. I loved Matt, like especially in the first series. And I liked Annie. I always liked Annie. And Ruthie when she was younger, not when she got older, because she got a bit snippy when she was older. But when she was younger, she was adorable. So there you go. Hopefully that answers that for you. Who knew we've been talking about Seventh Heaven? Skylar says, Annabelle, I read a lot of Rick Riordan books. That's so cool. Angel says hi to Jin. Jin says hi, Angels. And Maria Ann says, I loved Ruthie. I know, as a kid, she was so cute and smart and, just had a lot of love for her. Once she grew up, I didn't like her so much anymore. Any other questions? Certainly feel free to ask. Just thinking about Seventh Heaven now. See, what I loved about Seventh Heaven for me is because I watched it and I very easily blocked out the religious side of it. And watched it just as a family show. And I love that. And I think it was preaching all the right morals. So I absolutely loved that. Annabelle says, Rick Riordan, Riordan writes Percy Jackson. I'd highly recommend him as an author. He researches a lot and is up there with JK and Emily Rodda. Oh my God, Emily Rodda! I forgot about her. Mentionables would be the Heroes of Olympus and Kane Chronicles. Oh, cool. I'll definitely have to look them up and read them. Jamie, hey Jamie. Jamie says, I'm late, but hi everyone. I loved Seventh Heaven, also watched it all the time. Yeah, so it was just such a great show and taught a lot of great life lessons. Oh, I also love Lucy, but I think Lucy for me got better as she got older rather than when she was younger. And I have listened to a lot of Beverly Mitchell's music, and I do like them. Good Girls Want to Get Crazy Sometimes Too is one of my favorite songs. So, yeah, I did love that. But it was just a beautiful show. I just wish that Jessica Biel didn't have to leave. I hated the way that was treated, and I wish she could have just stayed in there for the whole series. That would have made it that slight bit better. Sarah says, wanted to slap her as a teenager. Who are we talking about here that you wanted to slap, Sarah? Marissa says, yeah, hey, Marissa says, how are you? And she says, I'm awake. So happy you're here. Yes, we're still doing the press conference, so if you have questions for me, feel free to ask. Miss Exalia says, I liked the book and the movie Gone Girl. Have you seen it? Yes. I just had to remind myself, but I have seen it. I've not read it. I didn't know it was a book when I went to see it at the movies, but I loved the film. I thought it was fantastic. So yes, I have seen the film, but I haven't read the book. Scarlett says, I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. Yes, love Dawson's Creek. Megan says, sorry if this has already been asked, but what's your favorite musical? Again, that is a very tough question to answer. Very, very, very tough. Putting me on the spot here, because I have a lot of musicals that I love. But my favorite would, if we're talking stage musicals, my favorite would have to be one of three: Little Shop of Horrors, Fame the Musical, and Little Shop of Horrors because the ending on stage is different to the ending in the film. The ending in the film is a happy ending. The ending on stage is a sad ending. Fame the Musical, and I'm sorry to say, but Legally Blonde the Musical. I love it. I'm so happy I got a chance to watch it. Okay. Angel says, hi, Marissa and folks. Yay. Maria Ann says, hi, Jamie. Skylar says, Skylar says something. I like Rick Riordan's Heroes of Olympus, but you kind of have to read Percy Jackson first, so you know certain characters and events that occurred that are mentions of heroes of Olympus. Okay, cool. Then I'll definitely have to read it in that order for sure. Yeah, so When I started writing my third book in my Fighting for No Reward series, people started reading Love Hurts, and they said, "Oh, why does all of this not make sense?" And so I had to tell them, "No, look, I'm sorry to say this, but you do have to go back to the start because a lot of it won't make sense if you don't read the others." So thank you for telling me that. I will definitely do that. Sarah says, "Can you tell the Olsen twins apart?" No, I can't. It's so hard to tell Mary Kay and Ashley apart. Not that I've seen them in the last couple of years. Did you watch any Olsen twin movies when you were younger? I don't know what made me ask that. Haha. Wanted to slap Ruthie as a teenager. Lol. Yes, me too. So many times, especially when she was in Scotland. Oh my god. Yes, I have seen films with Mary Kay and Ashley, but I have to remember what they're called. I think something's about New York or New York Minute or something. Or is that someone else? I don't know. But I have seen films with Mary Kay and Ashley. Yes, I have. And of course, I saw them on that show they were on. What was it? Full House or something? I saw a couple of episodes of that when I was younger. Maria Ann says, I kind of see Seventh Heaven differently now since the dad was charged with doing inappropriate things to children. Yeah, so they interviewed the Catherine, whatever her name is, the woman who plays Annie, around the time Gilmore Girls was coming out and said, would you be up for a reboot of Seventh Heaven? And she said, absolutely, if my husband was placed into a coffin. So she was very strong on, yeah, I'm not going to do another show with Stephen Collins, I think his name is. Yeah, so yeah, I was upset to hear that too, because I mean, he's such a great, Eric Camden, the character, is such a great guy. It's so hard to believe that happened. I was so upset when I found out. Skylar says to Sarah, do you remember the Olsen twins show that they made as teenagers? No, I don't either. Well, I don't know if Sarah does, but I don't. Angel says, Ashley always looked healthier and less drug addicted than Mary Kay. Oh, really? Okay, there you go. Maria answers, Sarah, I was obsessed with the Olsen twins when I was younger, had all their movies, book stalls, and posters all over my walls. Yes, they had so much merchandise, but I never had any of their merchandise, unfortunately. I had a lot of Spice Girls merchandise back in the day, though. Jen says, love your tie-dye shirt. Oh, thank you. That's very nice of you. Watched a show about how my fave musicians died. Janis Joplin had an abortion that could have contributed to overdose, and Karen Carpenter was taking a synthetic thyroid drug. Oh my god. I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, don't know a lot about both of them. I've heard of Janis Joplin, but I don't know a lot about the two. But I'm so sorry to hear that. That's terrible. Maria Ann says, so little time. Oh, is that the name of the series that you're referring to? Jamie says, hi, Maria Ann. He was, yuck. Who was? Oh, Stephen Collins. Yeah. Sarah says, they did two of a kind and so little time. There you go. Annabelle says, haha, yes, okay, so a spirit animal or a totem is pagan. It's meant to be a representation of the traits and skills that you're supposed to learn or have. So that one I knew, yeah. So saying something or someone is your spirit animal in this generation is a kind of saying a person is a representation of you or of what you want to be. Oh my goodness, are you serious? That is so cool. I never thought about that. Yeah, that's a tough one for me to answer. I honestly can't answer that yet, but I will get back to you with an answer. I can promise you that, Annabelle. Angel says, Francois, have you seen Rent the Musical? It's amazing. I've seen it more than 10 times and have met the cast members. That is so cool. Yes, I've seen the film adaptation of the musical, but I've not seen it live on stage. But I did like it, yes, quite a bit. Marissa says, I had like 3 hours sleep because of that back pain last night. I'm so sorry to hear that, Marissa. I don't even feel that bad for sleeping so late today. You shouldn't, you poor thing. I'm so sorry that you went through that. That's terrible. President A says, Buffy or Angel TV series, which series finale was better? Other than Buffy or Angel, who was your favorite character? The Buffy finale was better for me because the Angel finale was inconclusive. So I have to say the Buffy one was better. As far as aside from Buffy and Angel, who was my favorite character? In Buffy, it would be Willow, because I loved the whole witch thing that she was doing, so probably Willow. And in Angel, outside of Angel, it makes it tough, but I would definitely have to say Cordelia. I didn't like Cordelia in Buffy, but I loved her in Angel. So Cordelia. Jin says, oh my god, I love musical. Oh, Angel's cool. I love musicals. Yay, me too. They're so cool. Speaking of, wow, where are we? Sorry, just give me a sec, guys, to find where we are up to. There we are. Speaking of musicals, has anyone seen, or like even when it's on TV or live or whatever, Viva Forever the musical? I knew it was coming out, but I haven't seen or heard anything of the musical, and I really wanted to see it because, you know, I'm sure a lot of people want to see Mamma Mia, especially if they loved ABBA. I loved the Spice Girls, so I really want to see Viva Forever, but I haven't seen it at all. So does anyone know what's going on with Viva Forever? Marie Ann says, yes, New York Minute. Cool. Sarah says, I was obsessed with the Olsen twins as a kid, watched every TV show and straight-to-video movies, collected every poster and article, and can definitely tell them apart. Haha. Good on you. That's awesome. Jin says, Pitch Perfect and Glee still crack me up. I love Glee. I got into Glee very late, and this is how late I got into Glee. I think I started watching it when they were showing the final season. But oh my god, I fell in love with it. I binged watched that show and I loved it so much. I can't believe that I stopped myself watching it, because I watched it once when it was first airing and I went, oh, this is not what I thought it would be. But then, yeah, when I started watching more, I fell in love with Glee. It was so good. I was so sad when I got to the last episode. Just give me a moment to find where we're up to. I feel like I've lost where I'm up to. There. Oh, there we are. Okay, Annabelle says to Sarah and everyone else, did you ever play the Olsen Twin games on PlayStation? I loved serving pretzels and skiing. No, I didn't even know they had a game on PlayStation. So there you go. Skylar says, President A, I loved Angel more than Buffy. Yes, I agree. But Buffy's show ending gave more closure. Yes, exactly right. Angels was very inconclusive. Angel's last episode was great, but major cliffhanger, but that was because of not getting the contract signed. Yeah, which is ridiculous. I don't know why they didn't, like, just go ahead and do it. Like, seriously, it's ridiculous. Skylar says, for another season, yes. Sarah says, Annabelle, no, I didn't. Wish I had, though. Yeah, I didn't even know that they had a game, so there you go. President A says, the musical I wish I saw was Cruel Intentions, the musical starring Janelle Parrish. I didn't know she was in Cruel Intentions, the musical. As a matter of fact, I didn't know Cruel Intentions was a musical. So there you go. But yeah, that's really awesome. That it is, and yeah, hopefully one day I can get a copy of that. Maria Ann says, I wasn't allowed to watch Spice Girls as a kid. Oh, I'm so sorry, Maria Ann. You have to catch up nowadays. They were like, they were a really good girl band as far as I was concerned. If I was a parent back then and I had kids, I would be very happy if they followed the Spice Girls. The Spice Girls were very positive. Their music was very positive, very upbeat. It was, you know, it was never negative. It was always about good stuff. And Jin saying, spice up your life. Yes, absolutely. Spice up your life. Hi, see, yeah, hold tight. Do you know it took me the majority of my life to work out that in the end they're saying hi, see, ya, as in yes, yes, yes. Took me forever to work that out, and then it was like about a week or so ago that I was looking up the lyrics, and a link came up on Google saying that it's hi, the Japanese yes, see, the see being yes, and ya being yes as well. I didn't even realize it was yes, yes, yes. Marissa says, I Googled it and it says that Mary-Kate and Ashley have been in at least 17 movies. I would not be surprised, Marissa. They were very huge back in the day. They were huge since they were born, basically. Where are we? Wow. Lots of comments, which I'm loving. Jin says, my spirit animal is the American bald eagle. I am part Cherokee, born in North Carolina. That is so cool, Jin. Skylar says, to Sarah, I agree. I love Elizabeth as the Scarlet Witch. She was also in that horror psychological thriller that I can't remember the name of. There you go. Marissa says, did Angel get cancelled without a genuine finale? I feel like it did, but can't remember. Yeah, so they didn't renew it. They were going to renew it for another season, and they never did. Just like Witches of East End. I mean, what is it with supernatural shows? Seriously. Maria Ann says, that's so cool to Jen. Yeah, it is, isn't it? That is so awesome. Angel says, rate the show that shall not be named finale out of 10. 0. Goose egg. No, that's not fair, actually, because I have to give credit to Janelle and to Tammin. And so giving them a point each, I will give it a 2 out of 10. 2. Get it? 2? 2 out of 10. 1 point for Janelle, 1 point for Tammin. Annabelle says, Jim Cat, that's amazing. Yeah, it is. Maria Ann says, oh, God, a 4 maybe. Oh, wow, Maria, you were more generous than I was. Sarah says, Skylar, Elizabeth was in one called Marcy May, something. It's a long title, and she was in a cult and came out of it. She played that well. So cool. Skylar says, Francois, do you remember everyone hating Riley on Buffy? The boyfriend, if I remember correctly. Trying to remember. I remember Charmed better than I remember Buffy, but I think Riley was the boyfriend. Do I remember people hating him? I think so. Are we talking like the public, or are we talking about in the show? Lol, I thought Wesley in Angel developed a lot, so I appreciated his character. Cordelia developed a lot too. Yeah, I completely agree with Wes, for sure. I had a love for Wes in Angels. I'm a rogue demon hunter. No, he was really, really cool. And Cordelia definitely, wow, like she full-on had a like 180-degree flip, going from being a witch to being so awesome in Angels. Sorry, an Angel. Angels is one of the people here. Comment below and let me know. Just gave you a shout out there, Angels. There you go. Jifa says, ciao, Francois. Ciao, Jifa. Thank you so much for being here. Marissa says to Angels, does 0 count? Oh, that's what I gave it first. Just kidding. I would say about a 5, but only because it was great acting on Troy's part and would have been a good standalone movie. So from an acting perspective, I give it about a 6 or a 7. From a fan watching characters, I give it a 2. Annabelle says, what's your opinion on musical episodes in shows? It depends on the show, Annabelle. For example, Buffy, the musical episode, fantastic. Loved it. Loved every number. I thought it was incredible. I still love the song Walk Through the Fire and I'm Under Your Spell. So that, yeah, totally for that. The show we don't mention's musical episode wasn't really a musical episode and more a musical number in an episode. So I can't call it a musical episode. But yeah, there are some really good musical episodes out there. I don't think Charmed ever had one though, which is sad because they should have. Interesting fact though, when they told everyone they were going to do a musical episode, there was someone in Buffy that didn't want to sing. Does anyone know who it was? Let me know. But yeah, normally they're done pretty well. Jen says thanks to Annabelle. Angel says, yes, Marissa, Troyan did a fabulous job, but it was simply such a disjointed and crap finale. Yeah, exactly. And that's my biggest problem with it, was that the finale itself was just really, really crap. There was so much more they could have done with it. I'm not going to waste my time talking about it. If you guys want to, that's totally fine. But if you don't, I'm not going to waste my time continuing to talk about that show. Ugh. It's like, as we say, it's the show that cannot be named, like he who must not be named, the show that must not be named. Skylar says, Marissa, the channel wanted the contract signed by a certain date, and Joss Whedon didn't know if everyone from Angel was going to be back or work on other projects, so Whedon didn't get the renewal. That's so sad. And I mean, look at what happens. They grabbed Dave Boreanaz and shoved him into the sunlight. I mean, seriously, so bad for his skin. Wendy says, Skylar, was there hate on Riley? I wasn't a fan of him until I was older. I love his character now. My favorite was also Willow. By the way, hi everyone. Hi Wendy, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, absolutely. I loved Willow as well. I'm trying to work out what the Riley hate was. Skylar says, for the show Angel because of his contract. Oh, Will didn't get the renewal for the show Angel because of the contract. Yeah. Yes, that's just really sad. They should have given him much more time because it was such a good show. It was so worth it. It would have been worth waiting for it. Whoa. Where am I? Just a moment. Marissa says to Skylar, thanks. I knew something had gone on that made it feel a bit off. Yeah. Skylar says, Wendy, I feel like everyone I know who was watching it was so annoyed with Riley. I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, I had no problems with Riley. I thought Riley was fine, personally. Didn't have any issues with him. I mean, I never personally wanted Buffy to be with Xander or anything like that, so I was fine for her to be with Riley. I did like her with Angel, obviously, but I mean, Angel was doing his own thing, so can't expect a girl to wait. Although that episode where Buffy comes to Angel and it comes into the series of Angel and she gets really pissed off at him. Oh my god. Very emotional for me to watch. Annabelle says, when you were young, did you ever play video games? Yes, I did. I know for me, I grew up on PlayStation 1 and Nintendo 64, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Pokemon, and Banjo-Kazooie. Yes, I played Nintendo and Nintendo 64 and Game Boy. My favorite Super Nintendo game would have to be two, actually. Yoshi's Island and Super Mario Brothers 3. Oh my god, I was obsessed with it for a very long time. And there's an online emulator, an actual website that's called SNESemulator.com or something like that. And I've recently played Super Mario Brothers 3 again. I love it. He can fly. Anyway, moving on. Sky says Crash Bandicoot was like the only game I played. That is awesome. Good on you. President A, your message has been retracted. You may want to try again. Wendy says to Skylar, that's funny. I grew to really like his character. He reminds me of my husband. Oh, good on you. Yeah, I had no problems with him, so I don't get that. Annabelle says Olsen twins or the Sprouse twins. I have to say those boys are cute. I didn't even know who the Sprouse twins are. How far behind am I? President A says Leah Michelle's a great singer. Oh my god, isn't she? An actress. For those wondering, she was Rachel Barry in Glee and Hester in Scream Queens. Yes, she was. She was in both. Absolutely. Yeah, I know. She was so good. First time I heard her sing Don't Rain on My Parade, I was hooked to the show. And she also sang it a couple of times, actually, Don't Rain on My Parade. But yeah, I had a lot of love for Leah Michelle and for Rachel throughout the show. I felt like a lot of the time Rachel was misunderstood, but I absolutely understood and loved her. And I also loved the guy, what was his name? The gay guy and his boyfriend. And I do not remember his name again, which is really sad. But Kurt and, I don't remember the guy's name. The guy he dated that went to the private school. I forgot his name. Marissa says, lol, the horse clearly deserves a point too. That horse and Tammin are amazing detectives. Yes, absolutely. And let's not forget the scene when Tammin was on a horse. I mean, I get that it was Mona's imagination, but seriously, who comes up with the idea? Like, I can imagine Marlene saying, Tammin, just so you know, you're going to be riding on a horse. Like, what? Okay, that's great. You're going to look like a showgirl doing it. Oh, wonderful. That's just great. Skylar says, Wendy, I thought Riley was understanding and supportive. Yeah, he really was, especially at Buffy. I think some people thought he was whiny. Oh my god, but how unhealthy was Buffy and Spike? I loved how they captured an unhealthy relationship. Yes, and I love in the song, what is it, Walk Through the Fire, how Spike has his own part and he's like, I'm going to kill her, and then he's like, I better help her out. It's so good. And it shows like where the relationship is. It's like it's a love-hate thing, and it worked well, but it was very unhealthy. Maria Ann says, haha, yes, the horse. Yes, absolutely. I'll bump it up to 3. There you go. Yeah, IMK. There you go. Angel says, thanks for the shout out. Oh, you're so welcome, Angels. Wendy says to Skylar, yes, I completely agree with that. Love Spike, though I appreciated that he tried to be good mostly. Yeah, he did try. Jamie says, Willow, yes, we love Willow. Woo! Okay. Marissa says, wasn't it Willow's actor who did? Yes, sorry, Jamie, you're correct. Congratulations, it was Willow. Marissa saying, wasn't it Willow's actor who didn't want to sing? Going back a long way in my head. Long. Yes, it was. Annette Hartigan, Harrigan, something like that, if I remember it correctly. And I probably haven't remembered it correctly, but yes, the woman that played Willow basically refused to sing. She said they asked me, and I said I didn't want to sing in the episode, so she didn't. And I've always thought that that was a big part of the reason why. I forgot her name. Tara, the one that plays Tara, sings solo for "I'm Under Your Spell." Annabelle says, "Friends, overrated or classic?" Classic if you watch it no more than once or twice. So when it was first on, I loved it, and then I watched it again. Like I would, start watching episodes more than once, and then I got over it. So the first time I saw it, I liked it. After that, no. Jim says, does Australia have outdoor music theatres? Yes. Indiana has Clips, formerly Deer Creek, and a lawn concert series in several small cities. Mayday here, Lollapalooza in Chicago, Scribble Jam in Cincinnati. I think that's awesome. Yeah, we do. I can't tell you where they are, but we do have some. But they're not as big as they are over in the US. Yeah. Okay. Maria Ann says, love Friends. Yes, absolutely. Friends was great. I didn't love it as much as Charmed, but I did like Friends, yes. I loved Phoebe. I know a lot of people liked Ross and Rachel, but I liked Phoebe. Gosh, a friend of mine back in the day, we would always try and sing Phoebe's songs from Friends because, oh my God, the songs were so funny. One of them named the other name Bing or whatever it was. Oh my God. Moving on. Annabelle says, have you watched The 100? If so, what's your opinion on the whole Lexa thing? I have not, but maybe I should. Do you recommend it? If you do, I'll give it a go. President A says, I rate the show. We don't talk about an 8 out of 10. Maybe Alone. I have my nitpicks, but nothing major. Saw most of it coming looking back on season 7. Yeah, there you go. So Nathan was saying the same thing. I was talking to him earlier today. He was giving me a more detailed explanation. He said, yeah, like it all connects and makes sense. And of course, I'm saying to him, no, it doesn't. But yeah, he agrees with you. So there you go. Marissa says, did you ever watch the Buffy movie? Yes, I did. I believe the show was based off it as the actors were different. Yes, but wasn't Sarah Michelle Gellar in the movie as well, if I remember correctly? But yes, I did watch the movie, and what I appreciate about the movie is how old it was, because they would stab the vampires and they would just like lay there. Where of course there was great CGI effects in the series when they would just go and disappear into dust. Sort of like when Piper would blow up a demon. Sarah says, I have to head off. Good night, morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Good night, Sarah. Have a good sleep, sweetie. Thanks so much for coming. Skylar says, Wendy, I loved Spike's character. Remember that Angel episode when Angel is human and spends a day with Buffy, but had to become a vampire again to save the world, and Buffy's memory of the day was wiped. Yes, I do. Oh my God, that was so bad and so emotional when they got down to the last minute, and it's like, you won't remember any of this. I'm the only one that will. And oh, so bad. Such a great episode though, so emotional. Angel says, bye, Sarah. Skylar says, bye, Sarah and Marissa. Yeah, I saw the Buffy movie. Yeah. That's right, Maria and Curtin Blaine. That's absolutely right. You guys, we're probably going to be here for about another 20 minutes if I push it half an hour. So if you have any more questions, certainly feel free to ask. Yes, Maria Ann, it was Kurt and Blaine. Yes, I loved them both together. I thought they were really cool together, really awesome together. President A says, good night all, off to bed. Good night, President A. Thank you so much for being here. And very good questions, by the way. Annabelle says, lol, the Sprouse, if it's Sprouse, twins were on Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Cole Sprouse is Jughead from Riverdale. Oh, there you go. Well, obviously I know one of them, I just didn't even know his name. They're twins? Oh, okay. Well, then I'll certainly have to look all that up. Maria answers, bye, Sol and President A. Yes, bye, guys. They're on Australian Eastern Standard Time like me, so I understand that they're going to bed. Marissa says, would you say you have a movie genre or do you watch pretty much anything? I definitely don't like a couple of genres, but otherwise watch anything. Good question, Marissa. I like supernatural genre, the supernatural genre. I have for a very long time. I like family sort of stuff. So whether it be shows or movies, I like family stuff. Yeah, I mean, like, I will watch the odd horror, but it's definitely not my favorite genre. I'm not going to go out of my way to watch a horror. That's for sure. But yeah, I just, yeah, I like really, yeah, supernatural, family, stuff like that. Funny movies, comedies. I love comedies. I love romantic comedies. Absolutely love them. Especially the olden day ones. Like olden day for some of the new people here or the younger people here. Like for me, I like Sleepless in Seattle, for example, or You Got Mail, and what's that one called with Julia Roberts and Richard, Pretty Woman, and stuff like that. So I love those sort of things. Angel says, bye to President A. Skylar says, Annabelle, I once commented on Cole Sprouse's photo. He had a pic of a McDonald's coupon. I wrote, where was that when I was paying for my lunch? And he replied, in my back pocket. I wanted to die. That is so cool. I love that. From excitement. Of course you would. That is so cool. Like, that's the thing. Like, he wrote 4 words and it meant the world to you. And I was explaining to people with the whole Daniela thing when I saw her at the Australian Open. And I said, good luck at the French Open. She said, thank you. She said 1 or 2, depending on how you write it, words to me. And it just meant the world. And if all celebrities could just take that extra second to respond to people, just the difference it makes, it's wonderful. So I'm so happy that he did that for you. Maria Ann says, smelly cat, what are they feeding you? Yes, absolutely. I knew what you meant. Yes, that was one of them. Skylar says, while I'm watching Charmed, I'm like, ooh, I love that outfit. I have a thing for 90s fashion, lol. I'm a big fan of psychological thrillers. Any recommendations? You guys can certainly help her out with psychological thrillers. I'm not that good with them. But yeah, the fashion was pretty cool. Like, it was definitely 90s fashion. But yeah, I did like it. And it gets better as time goes on. Like season 1, they look so young. Oh my gosh, Piper looks so young in season 1. So very different. Jen says, sorry, Jen. Anyone watch True Blood? I love vampires. I still haven't seen True Blood, but people keep telling me to watch it. Maria Ann says, yes, I love 90s fashion too. Miss it. Aww. Marissa says, the Buffy movie came out in 92 and the show aired in 97. Yeah, that sounds about right. Jim Cat says, right. Jim Cat says, Final Destination series, horror supernatural, I dig too. I love Final Destination. Oh my god. I always used to get it confused. I used to say to people I love Final Fantasy, and then when I realized the faux pas I was making, I had to check myself every time and go, no, it's not that, it's the other one. Because I never had any association with Final Fantasy. But Final Destination, I loved that. So well done. All of the films start with someone having some sort of premonition about people dying, and then we see it sort of play out throughout the film. So well done. And I love how they connected was it the latest one? They say they're going to bring out another one, but I think it's just a rumor. But I would love it if they brought out another one, because I'd say I really do like them. Although when that girl on the balance beam, I'm not going to say any more in case it ruins it for anyone, but the girl on the balance beam, I always have to look away. Marissa says to Skylar, you should have offered to get that coupon out. Ah, good one. Skylar says, we should all get Francois magical things. Yes. Pretty Woman. Yes, I love Richard Gere movies. He's like old man handsome. Yes, very much so. I watched American Gigolo for the first time like 2 months ago, and I did like it. But yeah, I love a lot of his films, and he does really well with Julia Roberts, just like Tom Hanks does really well with Meg Ryan. Although I haven't seen Meg Ryan in anything recently, which is really sad. Skylar says to Marissa, lol. Tori, hey Tori. Tori says, Skylar, I'm dying to watch Troyan's thriller Feed. Yes, Tori, we were talking about that earlier. I can't wait to see Feed. We'll definitely talk about it once it comes out. And I love 90s fashion too. Awesome. Skylar says, Tori, me too, girl. Yay. Skylar said that. Jin says, the show we don't name. The actors replied to some of my tweets and felt great when they did. Sometimes social media is fun. Yeah, completely agree, especially when they reply to you. Yeah, absolutely, completely agree with you. Speaking of which, I sent a message to Jinx Monsoon recently, and I got a reply, and I got so excited, but it was an automated reply saying that that she is busy right now because he's doing a performance or something. I knew that he was. She. Like, I don't mean any disrespect. I love Jinx, but that that the person will get back to me. I'm trying to work out which way to say it, but that the person will get back to me as soon as they're done. And I believe they will. It's the sort of person that Jinx is. So, Tori says, that's so cool to Jin Cat. Yes, it is. Annabelle says, did you ever have an embarrassing phase as a teenager or a young adult, whether it was an obsession or style or whatnot? Oh, God. That's a good question. Did I? I probably did. I didn't even realize. God, an embarrassing phase. I don't remember. I don't know. I probably did. Knowing me, I probably did. Or as a young adult. Yeah, I probably did. I just don't know. But then, I mean, by the time I became a young adult, I was very much an individual anyway. So I didn't really sort of care what anyone else thought. I just did my own thing anyway. So yeah, probably everything that I did was an embarrassing phase. I don't know. It's a good question though. Marissa says, how do you feel about show movie remakes over the originals? Do you give them a chance? Yes, I do give them a chance. Just to see what it's like. I can't think of any really great examples, to be completely honest. Oh, so for example, like Beauty and the Beast. When they redid Beauty and the Beast, I definitely gave it a chance because it was Emma Watson that was playing Belle. So I went, yeah, I think I'll love this. Let's go see what it's all about. I know that Miracle on 34th Street has at least been done 3 times. And I love the most recent one the most, at least the most recent one I've seen, which is with Mara Wilson, but there might be another one. But yeah, if you guys have other examples of ones, certainly tell me and I'll tell you what I think. But yeah, I'll give them a chance. Well, I guess it depends though. I must be honest. If it's something that I absolutely love, then I probably wouldn't. So, like if it was a TV show, like say for example, they said they were going to completely redo Charmed the exact same way with different actors. Oh my God, no, I would hate that. But yeah, with films, I'm a little more lenient. Maria says, did anyone see the movie Sweet November? Kind of breaks my heart. No, I did not see it. Should I watch it? Annabelle says, have you ever watched a spin-off that you actually like? That's a good question. I don't know. Well, Angel. I loved Angel, and Angel was a spin-off from Buffy. But aside from that, I can't think of another one that I've watched. No, unfortunately. Skylar says Meg Ryan did awful work on her face surgery stuff, so her pretty unique face still looks unique, but not in pretty. Oh, sorry to hear that. That's terrible. I can't believe she had work done on her face. Her face was always beautiful. I don't get that. Has anyone seen a? Give me a sec. Has anyone seen a Walk to Remember? Yes. That movie broke my heart. It broke mine too. Oh my god. Only Hope is a song that I still sing to this day. So there you go. Yes. Oh my god. Very heartbreaking film. Love that film. What's the name of the girl? Mandy Moore. She was Andy Roddick's former girlfriend, wife, something like that. Yeah. Yes, loved that film. And The Notebook as well. I love those like romantic, heart-clenching, heartbreaking films. Marissa says to Jen, after a Hannah torture scene, I tweeted Ashley and told her she had done amazing, and she thanked me and retweeted. I thought that was very sweet of her. That is awesome. Well done, Ash. Well done, Benzo, as they call her. Maria Ann says, yes, love a walk to remember. Yeah, so cool. Hey, ABC. ABC's here. She says, FrancoisT, ABC. Great to have you here. My little bro is here. Hey, Chase. Thank you so much for making it. Tori says, Shadowhunter TV show and the movie Mortal Instruments they made before. Yes, so I liked Mortal Instruments when I saw it at the cinemas, and that's why I was willing to give Shadowhunters a go, and I fell in love with Shadowhunters. And now, if I'm to compare them, I prefer Shadowhunters. So I'm glad I watched it in the order that I did. Maria Ann says, Footloose was redone. I like the remake. Okay, there you go. I haven't seen the remake. Skylar says, I was disappointed in the Mortal Instruments because it was just bad. Yeah, I didn't mind it personally, but everyone's different. Jin says, I was the E.J. Johnson story of him coming out and losing weight. He said he's glad to live here because America is more tolerable with LGBT now than before. There you go. Don't know much about E.J. Johnson, unfortunately, but I think that is awesome. Tori says, I love the originals. It's a spin-off from the Vampire Diaries. So everyone's telling me to watch the originals. I really think I need to get on to watching it. And you guys aren't alone. Even I've got people like family and friends that are saying watch it. So I will definitely get onto it. Maria says, I think you should watch Sweet November, but stock up on tissues. Oh, I will. Do both. Watch it and stock up. Marissa says, spin-offs I liked were Xena from Hercules. I didn't like either of those shows, but my cousin loved Xena. Ravenswood from the show we don't mention. I didn't like Ravenswood. I gave it a go, but I didn't like it. Angel from Buffy, yes, totally. And I think that's all. Yeah, so I loved Angel. Maria says, does anyone watch the show This Is Us? So good. My friend Nathan does, but I don't watch This Is Us. Skylar says, Tori, I love the originals. Yeah, I'm definitely got to get onto the originals. Marissa says, Francois, where's your hydration squad? I have no idea. Where are they, Marissa? Where do you think they might be? Chase says, I'm still half asleep. Aw, feel free to go and get a coffee, Chase. We'll wait for you. Thank you so much, you guys. Like, I know it's really early for you guys, so thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. If you got any more questions for me, certainly ask. We will be finishing up rather soon. So, yeah, getting those last minute questions. Annabelle says to Marissa, Ravenswood, that just died off out of nowhere. Still so weird how Caleb just ignored that part of his life when he came back to you know where. Yes. You know where, you know who with that show we don't say the name of. Yes, absolutely. Gosh, you guys, we were so betrayed. Like, our hearts were ripped out of our bodies. Ugh, IMK, need to have words. Tori says, the only part of the Mortal Instruments movie I loved was Jace. Jamie Campbell, Boa, love him. Awesome. I honestly don't remember much about the movie. I just remember that I loved watching it, so I will have to sit and look at it again. But I love the guy that plays Alec in Shadowhunters. I don't know his real name. I really should find out what it is. But I have a big love for him. And I would go on record as saying, from the show that we don't like, I would pick the guy that plays Alec over the guy that plays Caleb any day. Alec's like the perfect guy for me. Skylar says, I think I'm highly critical of the Mortal Instruments because I've read all the books and spin-off books and I love it. So I had high hope and very judgmental. Well, no, I completely get that. I was the same with Harry Potter and I was the same with Vampire Academy. So I totally get where you are coming from there, Skylar. Chase says, love the originals. Yep, I'm getting the message, guys. I definitely have to watch the show. Marissa says to Chase, which half is asleep? I feel like it's my left. Chase says both. Maria Ann says, sweet dreams, Francois. Sweet dreams, Maria Ann. I'm not going just yet, but I'm going soon. Tori says, to Skylar, I've read all the books too, so I'm just as judgmental. Lol. Yes, and Tori still hasn't spoiled anything for me, so I'm very happy she hasn't. Thank you, Tori, because I don't want to know what happens. But the way that last episode ended, oh my god, I can't wait to get into the next one. Skylar says, did anyone watch Twisted or Chloe King or The Lion Game? They were all on in the channel that show we don't mention was on. One day I'm just going to let you say what the show is called. It'll make it easier, I'm sure. I've seen some of The Lion Game, and I think I've seen some Twisted. I might have, I don't know. But I've seen some of The Lion Game. What's that show? There was a show I was watching here. I'll make this into a quiz and you guys can work out what it's called. About a guy who he at the start of the show he ends up in a coma and he's in another world, and then when he wakes up he's in reality, but when he goes back to sleep he goes back to that world. It's a relatively new series. Has it finished or did it get cancelled? And they were trying to do stuff in the other world because there were issues in the other world. I have no idea what the heck it is called, but I know it's a show, I just can't remember the title. AB says, I love your show. Oh, thank you so much. I like it too. Thank you. When I saw it, I just went, I have to have this one. And I don't do that with a lot of shows, but I definitely do with this one. Marissa says to Annabelle, I actually thought Ravenswood was a red herring and would make Caleb into the person we don't approve of. Oh, there you go. Tori says, Alec is Matthew Dario. Oh, awesome. Yay. Lots of love for Matthew in that case. Oh, my goodness. Annabelle says, love how they make Alec a non-stereotypical gay character. Yeah, I completely agree with you because gay people come in all shapes and sizes. So I completely agree, like all different types of people. So yeah, completely agree. Chase says, I watched Twisted and The Lion Game. Cool. Jin says, Twisted was great. Tori says, I watched The Lion Game, Twisted, and Chloe King. So mad when they cancelled them. Oh. Skylar says, I enjoyed Twisted and The Lion Game. Charisma was in The Lion Game. She was? There you go. Skylar says, Tori, were you devastated when they didn't bring Chloe King back for a second season? And Marissa says, Francois, was the show awake? It might have been. Is that the one where he is in a coma? Let me have a look and just confirm it. I don't know. Let me see. It might be. Car accident. Detective finds him. This woman has them getting well, where his son survived, but his wife perished. What? No. Oh, no. No, it's not awake. Oh, there you go. We're still trying to work out what the heck this show is. No, it was not called Awake. Tori says, Skylar, so devastated. Aww. Marissa says, lol, I literally Googled what you said as a description and it popped up with Awake. Yeah, it's not Awake. It's a cold. Oh my gosh. because it's not about a detective or anything like that. I mean, there might be a detective in the show, but it's not about that. No. Scarlett says, Tori, that first season was great. All these shows had a great first season. I think The Lion Game had a second season. There you go. Tori says, I am excited for the show Siren that will become to Freeform in 2018. Oh, there you go. I'll have to have a look at that. Scarlett says, yes, Tori, Siren looks interesting, and there aren't big actors in too, and I like shows with new faces. Yeah, I agree. Tori says, Skylar, I'm pretty sure they did have 2 seasons. Cool. Annabelle says, I'm off to sleep now. Have work in 5 hours. Haha. Thank you for the chat, Francois and friends. You're so welcome, Annabelle. Thank you for being here. Another option, Marissa says, is Beyond. That sounds more like what it was. Let me just quickly check. Show. Yes. Beyond is what it was called. Yeah, Beyond. It's Beyond. That's what the show is called. Yes, it was Beyond. Thank you, Tori. Yes. Beyond. So Beyond was all right. Like, I liked when they had the CGI moments and all that. Is that over? Or are they like bringing it back? What's going on with that? Like, I honestly just have no idea what's happening with that show. But I liked it. I liked when he went into the other world. But yeah, I know it's a recent show. Just don't know if it's over or not. All right, you guys, any more questions before we finish up? Give you a few minutes in case you do have any more. Funny how no one's asked me what my favorite drink is. I think because everyone assumes my favorite drink is vanilla Coke. But I actually like quite a few drinks. And the majority of them have caffeine in. I don't like energy drinks though. There you go. There's something you may not know. Anyone remember Kyle XY? No, Skylar, I can't say that I do. Sorry, Tori, I can't say I do. Skylar says, didn't see it, but I've heard of it. Yeah. Jin says, Kyle XY was cute too. What is Kyle XY? Kyle XY. Oh. It looks interesting. Thank you for letting me know, and I might check it out. Marissa says, definitely check out IMDb later for the Beyond info. Okay, cool. Will do. Yay. Oh. Yeah. Skylar says, I don't drink things with caffeine. That caffeine gives me heart palpitations. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Skylar. Tori says, caffeine is my lifeblood. There you go. I've loved coffee for a long time. It's really interesting, though, because it skipped a generation. So my grandmother loved coffee. My mother hates coffee, and I love coffee. But after watching Gilmore Girls, I have to say, I became very much like Lorelai and just had as much coffee. I just kept drinking coffee all day. I once did a, I think it was like a European video or something like that, where I said coffee is like the perfect boyfriend. It never judges you and stuff like that. I went on a rant and yeah, it was quite funny. It was back in the early days of European. Chase says, stay on for a minute. I will, Chase, I will. Tori says, yeah. Jin says, I quit caffeine, but nicotine is a bother. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm a smoker as well, so yeah, I get what you're saying there. Yeah. Yeah, you guys probably didn't know that I was a smoker. There you go. Yeah, you do. Marissa says to Tori, I'm drinking a coffee energy drink. It's equivalent to 4 cups of coffee. Yeah, so I can't drink energy drinks. I go absolutely nuts on energy drinks, so I can't drink them. But I do drink coffee and lots of it. Jin says, damn, dude, go Jin. What are we damning? Skylar says, oh my god, Marissa, be careful. Oh yeah, energy drinks, for sure, very dangerous. Tori says, I smoke cigarettes trying to stop. Yeah, so Tori, you smoke as well. Yeah. Jin says, right, me too, Tori. Oh, there's a few smokers in the room. There you go. Oh, we didn't know that till tonight. Tori says to Marissa, yes, I need. What do you need? Chase says, watch Beyond Season 2 announcement online from Beyond. Season 2 is coming from Freeform. Oh, excellent. Because I liked the finale for Season 1. So, cool. Skylar says, I used to have coffee like pumpkin spice lattes all the time, but I can't anymore. Oh my God, I still haven't had a pumpkin spice latte. But every time I read about it or see it in a TV show or see it in a movie, all I can think is I want a damn pumpkin spice latte. Especially when I watch Scream Queens, when Chanel orders, I want a pumpkin spice latte with no foam and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need a pumpkin spice latte. I need to try one. It sounds like they're really good, so I have to try one. And sorry that you can't have them anymore, Skylar. Marissa says, my DD and I are just like Gilmore Girls. That is so cool. I love that. Skylar says, my boyfriend is a smoker, still trying to get him to stop. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's tough. I've been in relationships with guys that don't smoke. I've been smoking for many years. But I've been in relationships with guys who don't smoke. And I've quit a few times, but I'm still smoking. It's a very bad habit, and I definitely don't want to advertise it. That's why I've never said anything about it before now. Skylar says, sorry, I just read that. Marissa says to Skylar, I oddly don't drink coffee every day and definitely pay attention to my body. Some things make my heart go nuts, but for me, it's the sweetener. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so I'm very bad with that too. I have 3 teaspoons of sugar in my coffee, which is really bad. But see, coffee is different in like America to what it is here, which is really interesting because I know that when you guys just get a standard coffee, or at least what I'm seeing on TV, when you get a standard coffee, you have what we call a long black. Like it's basically water and coffee, right? So yeah, I can't have just water and coffee. I need to have milk in it and sugar as well. Skylar says, Marissa, yeah, I was having too much caffeine, so I cut it out, and, well, I saved money from now for not getting it. That's a very good point, Skylar. Chase says that then she throws a fit. Who are we referring to there, Chase? Jin says, Screen Queens was so good. Yes, it was, because it was what my friend Sonia will call stupid comedy. And it was really stupid comedy, but it was, because you knew that it was funny. And the mystery was great as well. So I'm so sad that it was cancelled like so many of the other shows that I love. And yet the show we don't mention doesn't get cancelled and we have a terrible finale. I mean, seriously, go figure. Skylar says, pumpkin spice lattes are delicious. I can get it with just the milk and syrup and no shots of coffee or caffeine. I think I might be able to get it at Starbucks, and yes, we have Starbucks in Australia. So I'll have to check if I can get it from Starbucks here in Australia, but definitely have to try it because yeah, I keep hearing about it so much that I just can't help but think, oh my God, this must be like the best thing ever. Marissa says, I make my own pumpkin spice latte. I just add a cinnamon stick, whichever milk I want, and actual pumpkin spice from the shaker. My DD takes hers with whipped topping. Oh, there's a thing called pumpkin spice? Like, I know a lot of spices, but I've never heard of pumpkin spice. There you go. I have to check it out. Tori says, I love my coffee with a lot of sugar and a dash of cream. Yeah, see, that's so cool. Like, I know that, like, you know, people talk about cream and all that, and I don't have cream in my coffee. I just have milk. But that's also very standard here in Australia to just have milk and not put cream in it. But I know that's big in America, so it's very different. It varies from place to place how coffee is done. Chase says, in Scream Queens, Chanel #1 throws a fit about the pumpkin spice latte. Yeah, that's so true. Exactly. I will never forget the fit she threw. Marissa says, I can't drink anything with aspartame and won't buy anything with xylitol because that one is poison to dogs. Even a stick of gum can be fatal for a dog. They both mess my heart up. Oh my goodness. There you go. I didn't know that. That's terrible. I know that they're kind of chocolate, but I didn't know And I'm sorry that it messes your heart up. I'm glad you don't get them anymore, obviously. It's so sad. Jin says Starbucks is everywhere. Yeah, I know, right? I never thought they'd bring it here, but they did, and that was great. And I was so happy that they brought Starbucks here. But I have to say, the most exciting thing for me was when they brought Krispy Kreme. It was a couple of years ago now, but they brought Krispy Kreme to Australia, and I was so happy. I'm like, oh my god, I finally get to try this thing, because of course everyone was talking about it at the time, like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever, and we didn't have it here. So when it finally came, I was so happy. I finally got to try a glazed donut. And let me tell you, the donuts we have in Australia compared to Krispy Kreme, oh my god, there's no comparison. Krispy Kreme wins hands down. Marissa says, my bestie works for a small airline, and Jamie Lee flew with him last month. That is so cool. And he helped her board, and she held the camera while hugging him for a selfie. It's now my background. That is awesome, Marissa. I love that. Skylar says, are Starbucks the currency used in space? Yep, absolutely, Skylar, they are. Jen says, cool. Marissa says, you can Google pumpkin spice. It's cloves, cinnamon, and a few other basic things. It's just easier to buy one jar for us. Oh, there you go. I might do that. I mean, as I say, I just really want to try it. I'm so intrigued by it. Chase says, I wanted to tell her, shut the hell up. He did what you said. Exactly right. She was so mean to that guy. Tori says, Krispy Kreme. I know it's so bad for you, but so good. I love the glazed donuts. It's so nice. Marissa says, Skylar, you just killed me with Starbucks. I know, that was so rough for it. Jen says, the sugar and crispy Kremlin. Oh my god, yes. It's really bad for you. But you gotta like understand, for people in Australia, like we see in America people saying all the stuff about how great Krispy Kreme is, and then when we got it, I just went, oh my god, I have to try this. Another thing that I was so happy that I got to finally try, because I kept hearing about it, was candy corn. And you guys probably going, oh yeah, that's nothing, but I always heard about it and never tried it, and then finally I found it in a shop, and I was like, oh my god, is this really what candy corn is? So I finally got to try it, and I loved it. I was like, oh my god, what is this? It's beautiful. So I'm trying to try more and more American stuff. Of course, Pop-Tarts have been around for as long as I can remember, but you know, there are so many things I want to try. Jen said, oh yeah, I read that. Skylar says, Power Rangers the movie has the biggest product placement for Krispy Kreme in their movie. Oh really? I didn't know that. There you go. I haven't seen the movie yet. I used to watch the show back in the day when it was on. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, so there's a few things that I still want to try that's American. Hopefully they'll bring them over here. We'll have to see. Yeah, something that's really interesting. I know that you guys have a lot of Outback steakhouses. We don't have one here in Victoria. I think we only have one Outback steakhouse in Australia that I've seen. We might have more than one, but I've only seen that we have one. I just found that so funny. I'm like, how do we not have more in Australia? It just doesn't make sense. Sorry, I read that. Marissa says you need to get a PO box so we can send you snacks to try in chat. Yes, I so should. Oh my god, like seriously, if you guys did that, I so would get a PO box and definitely would like show them to you all and try them live and all that. Absolutely. Tori says you should do a video of you trying candy snacks from America. I so should. Yeah, that would be really awesome. That'd be a lot of fun for me. And in return, I'll send you guys Vegemite. I don't know if anyone's talked to you about Vegemite, but yeah, Vegemite is not my favorite thing. Some people like it here in Australia, but I don't like it. Skylar says, yeah, I agree. Jen says, autocorrect is funny, make Krispy Kreme. Yeah. Jin says, our Outback is good here. Yeah, so I keep hearing a lot about Outback Steakhouse, and I just don't understand why we don't have it here. Like, I mean, come on. Skylar says, what is big in Australia that doesn't exist here in the States? Aside from Vegemite? Oh gosh, that's a very good question. I mean, a lot of the things that we have that are big here are already in the States. So obviously, you know, like McDonald's and stuff like that. Can't think of what else is like really big here. Yeah, I really should find out and have like an Australian to American chat sort of thing. Tori says, Francois, have you ever had a blooming onion? No, I haven't. I don't know what that is. Scarlett says, what's Vegemite? Vegemite is it's a spread. Yeah, Tori's saying it's a spread to put on toast or something. Yes, it is. It's a spread and it's colored black and basically it's very salty. If you look up YouTube videos of Americans trying Vegemite, you'll see it. And I haven't seen anyone that likes it so far. And I don't like it. I know some Australians that do, but I don't personally like it. Marissa says, do you eat most foods or do you do plant-based or completely vegan? My son wants to be a meatitarian, hashtag fail. Hello. No, I do eat most foods. I'm just a seafooditarian and I don't eat lamb. So I will eat chicken and beef and all that. That's totally fine. Yeah, I just won't eat lamb or seafood. Chase says, no, Vegemite, yuck. Yeah, absolutely, Chase. Have you tried it? It's really terrible. Jin says, right. Tori says, it's, yeah, right. You need to try a blooming onion. Oh my God, deep fried onion pieces. Oh, okay, sure. I'll give it a go. Jin says, sounds like spam. Yes, I've tried spam. Didn't really like it, but it wasn't terrible like Vegemite, but I didn't really like it. Oh my gosh, what else? There's so many things though that I've heard of that for some reason they're not coming into my mind just yet. Yes, I made it when I needed to puke. That's funny. Marissa says to Tori, I hate onions, but blooming onion looks like flour and tastes amazing. Cool. Scarlett says, Jen, I actually like spam, but fried on mixed in yellow rice. Oh, fried. I haven't had fried. That's pretty cool. Let me see if I can find a very quick list of stuff and tell you what I really want to try. I'm coming up with some lists here, but I mean, it's really none of it's jumping out at me as anything that I haven't had before. What the heck is a breakfast burrito? I don't think I've had that, but we might have it here, but I've never had it. Carolina style or Carolina style. What's that? The cheese dog sounds good. Oh, cheese fries is very nice. I've had that. It's a corn dog. Does a corn dog have like corn? Like it's like a hot dog but has corn inside? I have wanted to try that. What else? Some of these things we actually have, like most of them we actually have. Oh, is it Jello jam? No, Jello is jelly. Okay, so we call Jello jelly in Australia. So a Y instead of an O. Jerky, I love jerky. I've tried that many times. I do like that. What's milk toast? Is that like French bread? These are just a few things that I'm looking at. I love Oreos. We have them here. I do love them. Sloppy Joe is good. I haven't had it before, but I've seen it. It doesn't look appealing, but it might taste really nice. Potatoes O'Brien, what's that? Um, oh, popovers! And I know I said that in an American accent, but I want to make them. They look really cool, popovers. Pop-Tarts I've had, yeah. Oh, and I want to make, what's it called? Pizza pockets. I want to make popovers and pizza pockets and so many other things. And oh my goodness, we have a lot of things that people say. Tori says, I can't stand spam, so gross. Jen says, I've eaten spam and didn't know it. Oh, there you go. Tori says, Teresa, they are delicious and the sauce that comes with it is amazing. Scarlett says, I'm Puerto Rican, so we use spam here and there so we can make if fried rice or dice it up and mix it into our Spanish yellow rice and it's good. Oh, excellent. Tori says, I guess I've never had spam that was made right because every time I eat it, I get ill quickly. Oh, no. Marissa says, a corn dog is a breaded hot dog that's on a stick and deep fried. So, like, is there bread inside it? Like, I've seen it on shows, like, people eat it, but I'm trying to work out what's inside. So is there, like, a sausage inside, or is it corn, or... I'm still a bit confused as to what's inside. Is there bread? Jin says spam is too much salt. Tori says, technically the only reason we call it Jello is due to a company that makes gelatin called Jello. Oh, there you go. Marissa says, homemade sloppy joes over the canned meat is definitely good, easy to make, but sloppy, so you have to eat at the table. Okay, cool. Skylar says, Jen Cat, yes, it does have a lot of salt because it's stored in a can. Most canned foods have a lot of salt. Spam was originally made for war times. It was given to soldiers. Here you go. Batter fried hot dog. Oh, I've had that. We call it a sav here. I've had that. A hot dog on a stick is then dipped in cornmeal and deep fried. That's a corn dog. Cool. Awesome. Why did I think I had corn in it? Like, anyway. Marissa says it's the hot dog sausage inside with a cornbread on the outside. Okay. Yeah, sounds great. I guess the sav is slightly different. But yeah, sounds great. So yeah, do you guys like popovers? Or popovers? Or pizza poppers? They look so amazing. I've seen so many clips on how to make popovers and pizza poppers, and I can't wait to like really try it out, and try and make them. So let me know if you guys like them. And I really have to go soon. Let me see. There is a really wonderful website online that I have used before. It's called USA Foods or US Foods or something. Where is it? Yeah, USA Foods. And I should go back to them and order some stuff. Should I go to snacks? Yeah, I'll go to snacks and you guys can tell me about things. Let's see. Okay, let me go to candy and you guys can tell me what these things are like. Oh, is taffy good? So word taffy. I keep hearing that coming up a lot. What else do I not know? What is a Necco candy button? What is that? That looks really interesting. Goats and cow tails. Gosh, I don't know any of these, you guys. Caramel cream. Oh, is that what Spencer's dad bought for her? I so have to order them. Watermelon. Watermelon hard candy. Are you serious? I'll look at 2 more pages and then I'll stop. Yes, there's a whole lot of saltwater taffy. I really should try it so I can say that I've had it. Something called Dum Dum Pops. Dum Dum Pops. Okay. Sugar babies. Swedish fish. Okay. Mike and Ike. Okay. Clay's Horehound Drops. Okay. Last page I'm going to go to. Chuckles. Atkinson Rainbow Coconut Bar. Gosh, I wish someone could send all these to me and I could try them. We would have so much fun. Payday King Size. Okay. There's something called Payday. Cool. Airheads. Altoids. More Mike and Ike stuff. Wow, that must be pretty good. Lifesavers. We have lifesavers here. Jolly Ranchers. I don't know if I've tried them, but I'm familiar. Charms Candy Corn Super Blow Pop. Okay. Bit O Honey. Wow. Crayola Colored Wheel Pop. Indeed. Alright, let's come back to you guys. Whoa! People are writing a lot. That's so cool. Okay, Tori says, I've never had a popover, but pizza pockets are so good. Awesome. Yes, I've definitely seen a Martha Stewart instructional video for popovers. They look really, really good. And yeah, pizza pockets sound amazing. The first time I heard of pizza pockets was on American Dad. Make mine with the pineapple. But yeah, so I looked it up thinking, is this an American Dad thing or is this real? And when I looked it up, it looked so awesome. Skylar says, I love corn but hate hot dogs. I love popovers. Oh, cool. Tori says, hydrate. I will. Thank you, Tori. Taffy is so good. Oh, good. I don't have to try it. Oh, gosh. I really should do this whole PO box thing. You guys can send me candy and I'll just try it here and say, oh, this is great. Oh, this is terrible or whatever. Cowtails. Yeah, cowtails good. What are they? Like, I'm guessing they're not literally cowtails, but what are they? Tori says, dum-dums are lollipops. Oh, cool. Marissa says, lol, I'm in Canada, and wherever we see a really random item in the store, we say that must be American. Then about a month later, it's on clearance. Oh. Jin says, Jolly Rancher's hard candy watermelon is yum. And Swedish fish is so good. That's such a terrible name for candy, Swedish fish. It makes me think of a fish, like an actual fish. Tori says, Francois, have you ever tried moonshine? No, I have not. I know what it is, but I haven't tried it, no. Jen Cat says, moonshine, awesome. Tori says, payday is a peanut butter and caramel log covered in peanuts. Okay, that's not for me. I love caramel. It's one of my favorite sweet things is caramel, but I don't like peanuts. Really good, but very heavy on the stomach. Okay. It says, you know how in most shows they you know how most shows they show Americans giving popovers to guests? I've never seen that happen. No, it was in American Dad. And Francine and Stan were making it, and Francine's like, make my pineapple, and I think Stan said, make my pepperoni, and Roger says, make my Vicodin, which is just funny. But yeah, I had to look up what it was. Oh, that was fun. Yeah, so lots of things. But yeah, I should definitely do like a chat. Like, what do you guys think? Like, I know you guys, looks like you guys agree, but like, let me know seriously for real. Do you guys think I should do like a live chat where I try American products in front of you guys and tell you what I think? I think that would be really, really awesome. Can't think of too much that you guys could try from Australia. I mean, you can try Vegemite. You can try pavlova. I don't know if you've had pavlova, but pavlova's from here. We have lemingtons, which are sort of like a really beautiful cake thing. Very nice. Do you guys have Tim Tams? I don't know if they're Australian or not, but I do like them. Tori's saying, yes, please do that. I will, Tori. I think it's a great idea. Yeah, I'll definitely have to set something up. Sounds really good. Yeah. All right. Tori says, my dream is to move to Australia. Are you serious, Tori? My dream is to move to America. Want to swap? Want to do an exchange? We'll meet halfway through and tag team. And you can come and host, comment below and let me know. Marissa says, I had a friend move to Australia for a year on exchange and she sent SOS for chocolate chips to make cookies better. Yours were inedible. Yes, so I've had cookies from Subway. Obviously, you guys know Subway. Obviously. And they were so good, and it did make me realize that our cookies are really terrible. They're really hard and dry compared to what you guys have. Yours are really soft and luscious, very beautiful. So I agree. Tori says, yes, yeah, okay, great. We'll tag team. What state are you from again, Tori? We'll definitely tag team. Oh, Wade, you made it. Hey, Wade, how are you? We're just about to end, but I'm so glad that you made it here. If you have a question for me, let me know, Wade, because we are about to end, but I will answer a question if you have. Tori says, moment of silence. Yes, we'll definitely have a moment of silence very soon. North Carolina? Yeah, totally. Let's swap. I'll go to North Carolina for sure. That's so awesome. No, it's like I said, the grass is always greener on the other side. But yeah, I can't wait to go to America and visit everything, and go to all the lovely states. It'll be a great experience for me. My cousin has done it a couple of times now, and she absolutely loved it every time she went. So that's really good. Last time she went, she saw a baseball match and she loved it, so that's cool. Yeah. Because we kill your sleep every night. Yeah, but I deal with it. Marissa, I deal with it for the sake of the family, so, but I will go very soon. Tori says, I absolutely love Margot Robbie. Who's that? Tori? Wade says, what has been your favorite part about running a channel? Meeting all of you guys. And I know that that's a very, what's the word? Like it's a expected answer or whatever, but seriously, it is my favorite part. If I didn't have you guys here, I don't think I would have done anywhere near as much videos, like not even 1/5 of the amount of videos I've done. It's just been great getting to know all of you. She's an actress from Australia. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, give me a moment. I have to see if I know this person. Do I know you? Yes, I do. She was on Naples, right? Yeah. Yeah, I do know her. Yeah, she's cool. I like her too. I just didn't know her name. She played Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad and she was Jane in the new Tarzan movie. That is so cool. Yeah, she's from a show here called Neighbours. Yeah, so that's been my favorite part about running the channel. And just doing the live chats, and every time I do a live chat, like people just jump into the room, and that's really awesome. Like even today when I did an impromptu live chat, like people just jumped into the room. So it's really been a lot of fun. Marissa says, I feel like a lot of YTs say that, but they don't interact like they care the way, YouTubers say that, but they don't interact like they care the way you do. Oh, thank you so much, Marissa. Yeah, look, I've certainly experienced that myself with other YTs. But yeah, I mean, as I say, like you guys are like a family to me. So the way I saw comment below, the way I thought it was going to go, it is completely different to the way it ended up going. I thought I would have to be really guarded and be very professional and all of this, and you guys have been so loving and so accepting that I can completely be myself when we do these chats, and so I absolutely love that. I mean, there's no way we would have done a press conference live chat otherwise, so I really, that's the biggest part that I love about it. Wade says, I really love this family. I feel like I'm a part of something. Thank you, Wade. Yeah, me too. Like, even though, like, I'm the one that's on the video and you guys are typing, I feel like I'm part of it too. And you know, we're all equal here and we're all part of the family. It's a really beautiful thing. So I absolutely love being part of it. But I will have to go very soon, for sure. Tori says, exactly, Melissa, Francois, you are still carrying it open. Oh, thank you, Tori. But you guys are as well. Like, that's the thing, it works both ways. You guys have only been very accepting of me, as I have of you, but you guys have come out and told me things, whether here in the chat or in other conversations, but certainly a lot of the time here in the chat. And so I feel like I can do the same with you guys. It's a trusting relationship that we have that's so open and loving and caring. And I'm amazed each and every day that I still have you guys here. You guys who were with me during the period of the show that we don't talk about. They remember me saying, oh my gosh, when the show is over, you're all just going to leave me, aren't you? And you didn't. You stuck around. And so I'm quite amazed by that. I really, really am. And back in the day when I first started doing videos on YouTube, I was lucky to get like 1 like or like 1 view on my videos. So the fact that I now have this family is, it's just amazing. I count my blessings every day. I really do. Tori says, like, I saw a funny photo yesterday and I sent it to Francois and he responded. Most YTs won't respond. Thank you so much, Tori, for recognizing that. Yeah, like I do. I mean, I have to say it's much better to send to me on Facebook than it is on Instagram, but once I get onto Instagram, I will respond to everyone. And when I'm on Facebook, I respond to everyone on Facebook. But yeah, thank you so much. What was the photo you sent me? I know it was funny, but I totally forgot what it was. But I wanted to thank you for sending it to me. Can you remind me what it was, just quickly? Marissa says, I'm excited for the growth, but nervous that the, was it the charmed one? I'm excited for the growth, but nervous that the personal interaction simply won't be possible or as comfortable when it does go huge for you, Francois. But Marissa, that's the thing. Like, I would like it to, as we say, go huge. I don't even know, like, how you measure hugeness of something. I mean, this is much bigger than I thought it was going to be anyway, so this is quite huge for me anyway. But I mean, I do feel at the same time, like, you know, I have my OGs here and pretty much everyone in the room is an OG. Some of you have been around longer than others, but you guys are definitely a big part of the family. And there are some of you that come to like pretty much every chat. So yeah, I don't think that that will change too much, especially when we do these regular chats that aren't specific. Chase says, yep, he's the best YouTube ever. Oh, thank you, little bro. I appreciate it. No, look, I mean, if you guys take the time to send something to me, of course, I feel like, you know, I believe in reciprocity. So if you send something to me, of course I'm going to respond. It's the least I can do. I am surprised, though, that I know there are YTs out there that you send them something, try to communicate, and they don't respond. I know, so I've experienced it myself. But that's why through those experiences, I became how I am. So I said, if ever I am in that situation, I would do it completely differently. If someone takes the time to send me something, the least I can do is respond to them at the very least. Phoebe GBs, that's right, I loved that. You gave me the biggest laugh. Thank you so much, Tori. I so loved that. Marissa says, I think I mean, like we'd say our love Kelly Wilson, her chats are so fast now, she simply has to ignore people and can't read it all. Great, but has downfalls. Yeah, totally. I love that, like, we can have chats that go for a couple of hours. I think Kelly's go for half an hour or whatever. Like, I completely agree with you. Like, we love Kelly. We love her chats. We absolutely do. And Kelly, by the way, those of you who are worried that Kelly was going to leave, I wrote to Kelly a couple of days ago to find out if she was leaving YouTube. She said that she's looking into streaming on something else that's not YouTube, but that it will connect to YouTube, so we won't miss any of her videos, which is good, because I did fear we were going to lose that. But yeah, I appreciate what you're saying there, Marissa. Thank you. Chase says Kelly will respond on Twitter. Yes, and she responds to me. So I send her private messages on Twitter, and she does respond to me, which is good. Jen says Kelly Wilson is awesome. Yes, we absolutely love Kelly. She is so cool. I'm so lucky that I found her. And she gave me a shout out. I mean, thank you so much, Chase. Chase said something about me in one of Kelly's chats, and then Kelly gave me a shout out and saying that she knew me during the time from Pretty Little Liars and all that. And it was just such an honor because, yeah, I've known Kelly for a very long time. But yeah, so that's really cool. Jim Cat says nerd and OMGG from New York are good too. I have to watch more OMGG, but I've seen a lot from Nerd, and I love that kid. He's fantastic. I used to watch a lot of him, and then completely forgot about him, and then found him again, and he's awesome. Marissa says, Chase, she definitely responds in the comments and such. She's great, but it's definitely not as intimate as these chats. Yeah, and I mean, I think she's got a heck of a lot more people than I do as well. So it's a different situation. And if she's restricted to half an hour or whatever for her chats, I know back in the day she did 1 hour chats for the show we don't mention. But if she's restricted, she sort of just has to fly through and get to what she can. So I understand that. But yeah, it is different. It's a different situation, yeah. Gosh, I would love it if she would come to one of our chats. How great would that be? Tori says, I will send one funny charm pick a week. Well, oh, thank you, Tori. It will brighten my day. Chase says, yes, she is. Tori says, hopefully they will help make your day better. They will, Tori. Thank you. I love that you're going to do that. Jen says, Chase, I heard the shout out. Yeah, it was so good. Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much for telling Chase about that, because that was so cool. It's like, yeah, I met Francois back when I was doing Peel Alive. Like, oh my God, she's talking about me. And it was all thanks to Chase. So Chase, I don't know what you wrote to her, but whatever you wrote, that's so cool. So thank you so much for mentioning me. And I have to give a big shout out to Cara Jade. I know some of you are getting on to me and telling me that she used me in her video. I know she did. She responded to the video she used and said, I hope you don't mind, but I've used you. I'm like, no, it's totally fine. I watched the video. I was like, oh my God, how embarrassing. Here I am, an amateur YouTuber being put on Cara Jade's video. But no, I'm glad she used it. Jen says, Chase, I heard the shout out. Marissa says, Nerd and Kelly have made me watch a ton of shows I never would have. Yeah, completely agree. For example, with Kelly, I got back into How to Get Away with Murder thanks to her, and I also got into Riverdale thanks to Kelly. Chase says, Big bro, if you got a Twitter, add me. Yes, I have a Twitter, but I don't use it. Like Twitter for me is a browsing thing. I browse on Twitter. I don't write on it really. But I do personally message Kelly there because I think it's the only way I can really get in contact with Kelly. The 10 Commandments Killer is here. Hello, 10 Commandments Killer. Thank you for joining us. We're just about to be wrapping up here, but thank you so much for joining us. Marissa says, the non-YT app is You Now. Yeah, that's the one she was talking about. It's actually fun, but you have to log in there to chat, but you can send money to the person and you can do split videos with other people. Really? Oh, we should try something like that. That would be awesome. Alias has made it right before we're leaving. Alias says, oh my God, hey Francois, I just made it. You did, you just made it. Well done, Alias. Marissa says, I loved that Cara had started a video with you. I know. I can't believe I was like, oh my God, are you serious right now? But it was an honor. So thank you, Cara Jade, if you happen to listen to this one. I mean, seriously, you guys, when I was doing that video, I never thought anyone would use it. And here I am going, oh, yeah, but of course I wouldn't like the finale anyway, and blah, blah, blah. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm glad I gave her a laugh because she was laughing about what Marlene said about In My Mind, and I definitely agreed with what she was saying. Which says, yeah, so Chase says, hey, I sent her, Francois said hi, he's my big bro. Oh, thank you, Chase, that's so good. I remember saying say hi to Kelly for me. Definitely say hi to her again if you see her in another chat. I don't know if she's doing anything else at the moment, but I haven't seen a video from her for a while, but hopefully she'll do something again soon. Tori says, hydrate. I will. I'm about to actually go. Jen says, Cara Jade is so interesting. Her breakdown on the show we don't mention is phenomenal. Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree. And Chase says, Alias lol, I can prove Finn is not Alias. Yay! Woohoo! And hi, Finn. All right, you guys, you are also totally amazing. So thank you very much for coming to this live press conference chat. I thank you for your questions. They were all really wonderful, and we definitely should do this again sometime because I had a lot of fun. If there are any other questions that you have for me, feel free to either leave them in the comments below when the video uploads. Otherwise, we'll have another one, and if you want, we can do this again. Do not forget, if you're part of Show Club instead of Book Club, if you're part of Show Club, to watch Season 1, Episode 1 of Charmed, because we are definitely going to be talking about that at the... we are definitely going to be talking about that next Sunday, so definitely looking forward to that. Do not forget tomorrow that I'm doing Your Opinion, so I hope that all of you can take, it'll be 10 minutes or less, that you can take some time to watch that video and give me your opinion on the issue that I bring up. On Tuesday, I'm doing my Shadowhunters review. I'm going to read my thing from here because I've got it written down. It's very handy. Wednesday, we're doing our Shadowhunters live chat, so if you'd like to come along for the Shadowhunters live chat, I would really appreciate that. And I'm also going to do the first Foster's review, so I'm looking forward to that. Thursday night, 11 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, we are doing our Foster's live chat. I'm so excited for that. And on Friday, we'll do our next social issues chat, which is awesome because our first one, LGBTIQ issues, was such a huge success. Thank you to everyone who came along. And of course, Saturday, I'll do the book reading, and Sunday, we will do our charm chat, as I've already said. All right, guys. Well, thank you very, very much for watching. Yeah. There's no conference like a press conference. I am FrancoisT. Lots of love to you all. I'll be back with you tomorrow for Your Opinion. Until then, big hugs, big kisses. Thank you so, so much. I honestly mean it when I say from the bottom of my heart, I could not do this without you guys. So I appreciate you so, so, so much. Love, big hugs, big kisses. Mwah. Bye, guys.